Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Brawl Stars Challenge brought to you by ESL Mobile. We are in day 2 of the group stages where 8 teams will still be fighting it out today. My name's AJ, I'm the Mustachio, down here with the one and only Victor Gax to bring you all of the hottest action from today.
That's right, AJ. Glad to be back here again because after yesterday's matches, we're going to be back again with some more Brawl Stars action here, and I can't wait to see how things will be turned up on this second day because it's going to be slightly different. Obviously, we're going to be going through a slightly different phase, though the format still remain mostly the same. We're still here to see who is going to be the top Brawl Stars team, and we're going to be finding out in the next few hours.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's take a quick look at the format video. This is for all of you who are wondering how did these teams get here and how can you be a part of the ESL Mobile as well.
Welcome to ESL Mobile, the home of mobile esports. ESL Mobile is a global program designed to give you an opportunity to compete in your favorite mobile games, featuring multiple game titles, taking place in 3 regions and offering 2 levels of competition. There's something here for everyone. ESL Mobile Open is the gateway to competitive play, free to join and open to any resident of our supported regions. This is the best way for you to enjoy the thrill of victory and take your shot at winning cash prizes. Each season of Mobile Open will consist of 2 ladders, and the top competitors from each will qualify for the Mobile Open play-ins. ESL Mobile Challenge is your path to glory. If you are a top competitor in the Mobile Open play-ins, you will earn a spot in the Mobile Challenge season. The top team from each ladder will skip the play-ins and qualify directly for the Mobile Challenge season. This is where you'll have the chance to compete against the best players in your region. At the end of each season, top Mobile Challenge players will compete in the Mobile Challenge Finals to determine a winner and be crowned their region's champion. ESL Mobile is for everyone. This is your opportunity to join a diverse and growing community of players across the world and see just how far you can go.
Well, and there you go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That's exactly how you can be a part of the ESL Mobile as well. These teams have been through it already, Victor. I mean, through the ESL Mobile Open, they fought on those ladders. Some of them had to go through the play-ins as well, but 8 teams now stand in a single round robin. Today, we will see 4 series. Each of these series are a best out of 5 sets, and each and every single set is a best out of 3. Who are these teams that will be fighting it off? If you didn't catch it yesterday, here they are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The team of 8, 3 from Japan, 3 from Singapore, and 2 from Indonesia, Victor.
Yeah, they represent the best of the best right now in Asia Pacific when it comes to Brawl Stars, and with good reason as well. These guys have proved themselves from the play-ins, and now they're here to challenge each other to see who is the best amongst the 8. So, coming from the top here, Waffle Monsters, Byro, Sunnyside Up, Crazy Lagoon, and on the bottom here, Team Flash, Jupiter, Tropa Suprema, and Last Wolf. These 8 teams are going to be here to fight it out today, and I can't wait to see how things will turn out then.
Oh, absolutely, man, because yesterday they've already been able to show us quite a bit of action, exhilarating performance from some of the teams, a little, on the gloomy side for 4 of the teams here that obviously didn't manage to pick up that win. Can they turn things around today for themselves? It's a huge question mark. Can they show us that they are not going to be dominated all the way through and they will be able to dish out a little bit of pain as well, Victor?
Yeah, so when we look at the format though, this is the best way to kind of gauge the overall strength of these teams, because given that they have to fight each other at least once throughout this entire round robin series, this means that by the end of it, we'll definitively know which team is better, because they've already fought each other once. They already know who is stronger between each other, and by the end of it, when we tally up the points, when we see statistically who is the best, I think that's going to be an exciting moment for us all here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And let's take a look at the game modes that will be played in this competition. You guys know them. It's going to be Brawl Ball, Bounty, Gem Grab, Siege, Heist, as well as Hot Zone. But the maps that they will be played in will slightly differ day to day, won't they, Victor?
Oh yes, we certainly want to change things up for our competitors here. So doesn't make sense for us to go back to the same maps over and over again. We always need to change things up here, don't we? But yeah, this for today we will have a slightly different series of maps here that are going to be played. As you can see, we're going to be starting off with the gem grab round on Hard Rock Mine, then followed by a bounty round on Shooting Star, and then the third set will be played as a siege map here. This is going to be the Factory Rush map, and it's going to be interesting. We haven't quite seen this yet in this tournament. Then following that will be our fourth set, which will be on Split. This is going to be the 2 hot zone map here. And then finally, we will close things off with a Brawl Ball round should we go to a set 5 here at Sneaky Fields. So this is our map pool for Playdate number 2.
Oh, excited already, man. I mean, Shooting Star and Split coming back in here again on day 2. But, Hard Rock Mine for the gem grab is going to be quite the spicy one. So much of area to go in and hide along those vertical grass roots there. As you can see, those brawlers are going to be picking up quite a hectic fight as we kick things off. What will the schedule of the day be with these 8 teams taking each other on? Of course, the opener will be between Jupiter as well as Waffle's Monster. And of course, we'll move on to Sunny's side up as they will face Crazy Lagoon. The third series of the day will show Tropa Suprema taking on Team Flash. And I assume this will be the highlight series of the day. And of course, to wrap things up, Pyro will try to take out the last wolf.
Yeah. This is going to be a really, really interesting one because it's mostly region versus region. We've got Japan versus Singapore first, then we've got Indonesia versus Japan, followed by Japan versus Singapore again, and then finally Singapore versus Indonesia. So plenty of action for you guys lined up here today. So start things off with Team Jupiter here. I mean, yesterday we saw them really, really dominate their whole matchup, and I think today it's going to be quite the challenge, I think, for our Team Waffle Monsters to see if they can actually bring a good fight here to Jupiter, because yesterday they didn't exactly have the smoothest of runs there, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's take a quick look, ladies, German boys and girls, whether or not the side of Waffle's Monster will be able to overcome Team Jupiter. These are the ones that will be taking the fight on. Once again, just like Victor has mentioned, Jupiter from Japan, Waffle's Monster representing Lion City, Singapore. Tensai, Mameshi, Achapi, as well as Side Tempo will be dropping in for Jupiter. We've already seen exactly how aggressive Tensai as well as Mameshi take some of these games. Achapi constantly dropping back for, some of these gangs as well as supports time and time again. Gene Max as well as Carl, their top picks. As for the bans, they really don't like dealing with the assassins too, as well as, the firepower that Bell can drop into some of these maps, Victor.
Yeah, exactly. And that's because pretty much Stu and Bell have been some of the top brawlers this season, and with good reason. This whole patch has been really, really good for these 2 brawlers. But for Jupiter, they decided, we're not going to deal with that here today. So Stu and Bell, they're going to be mostly banned out for most of the maps because, again, they are very, very strong across a lot of game modes here. But Jupiter are still banking on the Gene and the Max. It's been very, very popular brawler we've been seeing in this tournament so far, and hopefully we'll see whether or not these Singaporean boys, Waffles Monsters, will they be able to meet this challenge here, because we know the Japanese teams are very, very strong, but we also know the Singaporean teams, they have a lot of spirit, a lot of heart, and a lot of confidence. Greek, Hit Drunken, and No Ping, we saw them yesterday. They did have some impressive performances, but they're gonna have to keep that up here today if they really want to have a good fight here against Jupiter. So in any case, looking at the top picks here and the top bans, very much different when you compare them to Jupiter, but this really speaks to the differences in, I suppose, play styles that Waffles Monsters is bringing to this tournament here. So, well, going back to you, AJ here, I mean, coming into this matchup, I think there's going to be a lot of pressure here on these Singaporean boys, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, Kid Drunken as well. Yesterday he will have a little bit extra pressure placed on his shoulders today, whether or not he can be consistent with his performance. He did manage to kind of recover yesterday when he brought Sprout into the hot zone to be able to take some of these long shots and keep the opposition away from, those targets. But it just wasn't enough for the side of Waffle's Monster. And today they've got an even bigger adversary in front of them, right? The Japanese players thus far, they've been able to show that, aggression is number one. They will take the fight onto your half of the field. You need to know exactly how to manage that and then push them right back up. Because, taking a slow and carefully paced game against the Japanese just doesn't seem to work at the moment, Victor.
No, even in a lot of the matchups we've seen yesterday, like just going in 100% from the get-go seems to be the way a lot of these teams have just stormed their way through a lot of these matchups. So you have to be ready. Like the moment you hit start and it's going to be go time, you have to be absolutely 100% focused and concentrated on the game, or else you can quickly find yourself facing a huge tide of momentum that cannot be overcome within a few rounds. So yeah, every single round here is important, especially in a game like Brawl Stars where the round can be done within just minutes.
Absolutely. Seconds sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we drop into Brawl Ball, the first goal is already scored before we even jump in, and the second goal can, come within like the next 30 seconds. There's just, round after round, so much of, fast-paced action, right? But as we drop into game number 1 today, it's going to be Gem Grab. A little bit of a difference compared to yesterday, because Gem Grab was match number 5. We didn't get to see it at all. We're going to go back to basics today, and this is going to be at the Hard Rock Mine. So once again, right, it's not going to be a very easy map to take. It's going to be super tactical. It will really depend on who's got the guts to get aggressive first and go for some of, those gem grabs, right? Because as soon as you exit the protection of your own grass, you are fully exposed. How fast can you jump out, grab the gem and get away? And the question is also going to be, how fast will your opposition be able to eliminate you from that situation? It's going to be up to the drafts as well as the bans in a bit as well, Victor.
Oh yeah, choice of brawler is going to determine everything on a lot of game modes. But for Hard Rock Mine specifically, I'm expecting to see a lot of usage of the side bushes. Like flanking is going to be very, very useful here. It's going to be very, very impactful as well, given that the bushes go all the way to its spawn. So you could even see a situation where very annoying brawlers will literally camp on the flanks and try to get some easy hits as they come out from spawn. So yeah, there's certainly a lot of tactical options here on this map, and I'm really curious to see how these teams are going to approach this one here, especially when it comes to the first few picks.
Yeah, I mean, we can even go in with a pick like Rosa, right? And her Grow Light gadget can very easily connect those bushes and make it so much more difficult for the opposition to kind of see exactly where these heavy hitters from your side is going to be coming through, right? So are we going to be seeing, these teams bring that Rosa in to provide a little bit more cover? Are we going to be able to see them, play a little bit more of a cautious game or an aggressive one? We will be able to see in round number 1. And the most interesting part would be, how is the response going to come through? Because I'm definitely pitting Jupiter to take round number 1 away from them, looking at how aggressive Jupiter has been in the competition thus far. Waffles, they ramp out quite slow, but they can hold their own as well, Victor. What I'm hoping to see is, exactly how will Waffles respond. But if Waffles, on the other hand, starts off strong today, that's really going to change the complexion of the game, because, it's a totally different side compared to what we saw yesterday.
I'm really interested to see if the Singaporean teams could try to pull off some smart outplays. For instance, given that a couple of our maps here, Sneaky Fields and this one, Hard Rock Mine, have a lot of bushes, they could even potentially go for a comp that is more geared towards clearing out these bushes here, as opposed to trying to play around it, and that could even throw a wrench into the works sometimes. So if Waffle Monsters can come out with like these smart strategies that kind of throw Jupiter off the groove a little bit, that can give them an advantage early on in these sets. So let's see if it's going to happen that way, or will they have some other plans as we enter our first map here. It's Jupiter on blue and Waffle Monsters on red, and it looks like they're still going to be in their places. Jupiter so far has already got 1 gem on their hands. They're couple on the ground for them to try to grab. They're going to go in for a little bit of gank here on the Greek, but Tensai not able to follow up on his shots there. So picking up those 4 gems now, they're going to try to back off.
Just like assumed, man. You know, so much of aggression from the get-go from Jupiter. Yamameshi taking out Noping as well. And that 6 stars just like that as Greek gets eliminated from this equation. Mameshi just dropping in all of those shots. Here is going to be Tensai just using so much of, you know, that barricade as cover as well. Not taking these shots, just waiting for the opportunity to pick these gems up. Now, Tensai almost taken down. Look at the side of Jupiter just back away from these engagements and still survive to pick these gems up, Victor. Amazing play so far, and they will finally drop a player.
The trouble is they tried to jump in while they still had healing active here for Jupiter, so they completely whiffed their health as they attempted to go for the gank here, and it hasn't really paid off. They're still behind in gems here. Jupiter is only 1 gem away from initiating countdown. Noping gets picked up on the side there by the Rico Mameshi, so already Jupiter is so far ahead. Greek now trying to set up a position here, but Jupiter, they got their eyes set on the prize here, keeping themselves very tight here. The Collect tries to go for 1, jump in. Kid Drunken tries to go for 1 as well, diving straight onto a shake. Oh, he does get it down. The countdown is cancelled. Now it's going to be free for all, but no. Jupiter is still able to keep it together. Mameshi still stays alive, picks up all of the gems. 13 gems in his hands, and that should be enough. 10 seconds to go. Waffle Monster still trying the best to try to come in here, but Mameshi is still so far away. Kid Drunken gets blasted all the way back. 1 more second to go. Mameshi gets the pop off, and they will win this first round.
Great round taken there. Mameshi just doing exactly what was needed. Dropping, you know, unfortunately once, but recovering very well. Picking all of those stars back up. And, you know, after that, it was all a matter of backing away and not engaging the opponent's Waffles. Monster, though, I really love the aggression that they try to bring on towards the very end. But it just wasn't enough, Victor. But I really love seeing the side of Waffles Monster. I mean, that particular aggression, if they can continue with, like I said, you know, high probability of Jupiter taking the first game. But now, this is where the true test is. Can Waffles Monster react and pull one right back and not let this be such an easy set for the side of Jupiter?
Yeah, I think like the Pam and the Rico on Jupiter was so impactful in that game. You could see that the amount of bullet spam that was going on, it made it very hard for Waffle Monsters to even approach the gem spawner. So that's why like they literally used. We really loved that last minute dive, but that literally was the only option that Waffle Monsters could do at that point, because the whole game Jupiter just really was controlling the space around the gem spawner, and it made it extremely hard for Waffle Monsters to contest with gems, especially the range that both Pam and Rico had.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I agree with you, right? And Rico was the bigger damage dealer, if you ask me, because of the fact that he could just take all of those rebound, the shots off of the edge of the wall, right? And he kept such a, you know, close range towards that wall. Now, Mameshi should be able to take Drunken out, going in for the heal, but it is just a little bit more beautiful to gem pick up by the side of Jupiter, and they will continue to rampage on 4 gems already. Mameshi still does not want to ease off the gas pedal here. Are we going to be able to see the side of Waffles Monsters drop right back in? Noping jumping right back out, and they are going to allow the side of Jupiter to continuously pick up all of these gems. Are they going to be able to ignore Mameshi as well as Tensai and just drop the guy who's carrying all of these gems now?
Yeah, it's really tough. Waffle Monster, I'm really questioning the pick of Colonel Ruffs here, but at least he's trying his best right now to try to get the flags. But Pam now getting ganked upon by Kid Drunken real low. He almost got it in the face, but no, the Pam was still too strong. Another pick up there, the Greek. Oh my goodness, Tensai absolutely killing it right now on this team, as Waffle Monster still not able to even get a single gem at all. This looks like another...
Kid Drunken, oh beautiful, man. Kid Drunken almost took him down, but El Primo just could not dance his little dance. And look at this, it will be a Chapi moving up so high with so many of those gems in his bag. But he doesn't really care because the game's already on their side. They've taken set number 1 so easy, Victor.
Yeah, it was really fast, and I think like this is just showing Jupiter, just showing them why they're still the team to beat right now in this
Yeah.
challengers, because they're still one of the teams where they can really dominate you right from the get-go, and after that it just comes a huge psychological hurdle for some of these teams, because now you got to come back, you got to try to play another set against them, and you got to try to change things up, because you realize that trying to go you realize that you're facing off an opponent that's a lot stronger than you might have anticipated. But then again, still very well done for the side of Waffle Monsters. They took whatever opportunity they tried, but I think that by the second round, it didn't seem like they could find an answer to the Pam and the Rico pick there. It's really strong for Jupiter.
A little too fast-paced, a little too much of aggression from the side of Jupiter. Not enough to scare away the Singaporeans just yet, but it'll definitely heat things up in the second set as we drop into Bounty. It's gonna be Shooting Star. We've seen this a little bit yesterday already. But it's gonna be the sort of a game where you need to be brave enough to go in for that push, which Jupiter have clearly shown us that they are willing to step up to that plate and kind of tank all of these damages, because they will be able to respond accordingly. Waffles have not been able to show that side just yet, Victor. So I am really afraid for them as they drop into the second set here. They have got so much more to show us, and I'm afraid their aggression just isn't shining through today.
Oh, well, I mean, again, to be fair, right, like when Pam has her healing turret up, it's really hard to try to go for those dives, right? But then again, hopefully Waffle Monsters will have a slightly different game plan going into this Bounty round now. Again, Jupiter on the blue, Waffle Monsters on the red. Let's see how this match is going to go. So far, Jupiter already picking up kills here. Trading 1-for-1 is still a 1-star lead so far for Jupiter. Might be another one here. Watch Mochi. Ooh, gets picked off there. The Piper is getting taken down by the Sprout. So now Noping and Greek are still trying to maintain positions here, trying to force Jupiter to fall back a bit. They are fighting right around the center. Kid Drunken tries to go in front, does take Deadside down to 20 health, but not enough to get the kill here, as Waffle Monsters now forced to back off here. Mameshi trying to bring some more extra pressure around the side. Kid Drunken gonna get focused upon there. Oh, the hits by Mameshi will finish off the Sprout, and another kill there by the Piper will take out Noping.
This is 10 stars for the side of Jupiter already, but I love this, play by Waffles Monster. They're not falling back too far. They have to be really careful. What a crazy long shot, and this is it, man. Jupiter is on their very final push here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Tensai bringing that aggression up. 4 stars on towards the left. Achapi should be able to finish this off. Kid Drunken once again dropping in. Very close. Dangerous situation. Drunken gonna get dropped now. Tensai eliminates him, and that 14-star strong Jupiter will just wait for Waffles Monster to waltz forward and continuously take them out, Victor.
They have to go in front. They have to be able to force them off of their spaces here, but so far the air denial that Mameshi is pulling off is just superb here, and it's making it hard for Waffle Monsters to even try to find a good target. And even though Kid Drunken's putting himself up in front here, the damage is still not coming through here for Noping. He gets picked off yet again here from the Piper. Another pick off here to Kid Drunken. I'm afraid it's all over now as Jupiter takes this first round.
Anticipated for it to go that way, but I'm still waiting, man. I'm still waiting for exactly when will Waffles Monster kind of push the line up, right? But I really love the composition that they dropped in. The combo between the Tick as well as Sprout was really, pretty much enough, but they were taking too much of damage. And the only problem here, the aggressive from the side of Waffles Monster was only Kid Drunken. He kept pushing forward and he kept doing that damage. His 2 team members constantly just holding back, right? But when you take a look at Jupiter, they constantly attack just one player at one time, because they know that stack damage should be able to eliminate them. And that's exactly how you play Bounty. It's all about that teamwork, right? So, a little loose coming in from the Singaporeans, Victor, if you ask me.
Yeah, and I think like they had some sort of idea, I think, when they picked up both the Bell and the Sprout here, because I think they were really trying to focus on what they could try to do about the Tick, because they know that Ticks can be very difficult to deal with in bounties. Normally, if you know that your opponent's going to pick a tick, you're going to have to pick a tick as well, because it's really guaranteed to give you some kills here, especially when tick gets a super. But I think what we saw there was an attempt there by Kid Drunken to really take control over the center of the map. Didn't quite pan out, and the tick was just absolutely walking over them the whole time. So let's see whether or not Tensai can keep up this pressure here. He is still using the tick again. No changes on the lineup here from Jupiter's side. For Waffle Monsters, yep, they're going to be switching off onto tick as well. So pretty much mirror matchup between the two of them. So far, Jupiter's already gotten a lead up on Waffle Monsters here, already picking up 3 stars on their side. So already Waffle Monsters a bit on the back foot for now. But let's see whether or not they'll be able to pick up some kills. Piper now, both Pipers on both sides are trying to trade off shots. Oh, that's a big hit there on the Greek. He's going to be forced to fall back, but he's going to be just out of danger just in the nick of time, but not this time for Kid Drunken though. He's going to get picked up by a combined effort of Hameshi and Tensai.
What is Kid Drunken doing? I do not understand this particular, strategy that the side of Waffle's Monster is dropping in here. I hardly have seen the side of Kid Drunken drop in these attacks, and he's finally returning these shots, but it's not going to be enough at all. The aggression that Jupiter has been showing from the get-go has been enough to constantly push Waffle's Monster back, and with 48 seconds on the clock, it is a 9-3 in terms of the amount of gem that they have got on each side. Greek almost taken out there, but Tensai will continuously hold his ground. He's not worried at all, because if Drunken drops in, Mameshi should be able to drop that back up, and Waffle's Monster managed to rake up 5 stars on their side, Victor.
So they're so far doing very well to keep Jupiter contained to their side of the spawn. So that's giving them a lot of ground. We can see they got another kill on the 10 side. He's looking very good for Waffle Monsters. Now they've gotten another kill to Mameshi. So that's putting them ahead now of Jupiter. So this is going to be perfect. Now they can try to pull back. Now they can try to cut the losses here and hopefully keep the lead, because this looks like very good for Waffle Monsters. Oh, Kid Drunken, very brave there. Tries to stay up in front. Tanks all of that damage. Unfortunately gets taken down by the Piper, who gives up a couple of kills, but it's not enough to overtake the Waffle Monsters. They still will take round number 2 here. Very well done. And could this be the start of a comeback?
Yeah, I hope so, right? Because finally there's something different there. I was really surprised with the way Waffle's Monster was taking the start of the game, right? Not aggressing at all, not really shooting towards the side of Jupiter, but that was the perfect setup, right? Because the moment Jupiter thought that, oh, okay, you know what? These guys are not responding. Maybe they've given up. They went in for that push. What a crazy response towards the end of the game. Those kills kept dropping left, right, center, back to back for the side of Waffle's Monster. They need to keep it up. There's no if, buts, or maybes, because if they do not do it, one more round and set number 2 will go to the Japanese as well. So Jupiter has got everything on their side. It's just Waffle's Monster that kind of needs to hustle here, Victor.
Well, I mean, the thing is that Waffle Monster can still stick with this composition here. I think the onus is going to be on Jupiter here if they really want to change things up, because if Waffle Monsters can show they can still beat Jupiter using the same lineup here, so it means that Jupiter now has to decide whether they want to switch out the heroes here or maybe try to change up the positions a little bit. The thing is though, the Nani player on Jupiter's side, I think it's Mameshi, his positioning is way better compared to the Nani on the other side, because taking the right hand side and the bottom here gives him a lot of area they can deny when he ever gets a shot. So it looks like Jupiter is literally going to switch sides here. So they're going to have Mameshi on the left hand side this time. So Kid Drunken pretty much is going to have free reign here on the right hand side of the map, as he's keeping the pressure up onto Wahochi there.
Oh, beautiful avoiding that shot there by Greek, but he goes in for that aggression. Unfortunately, will be pushed right back. Kid Drunken trying to, distract on towards the right-hand side as well, and that seems to be just enough. Mameshi almost taken down, and he's going to be quite the big bounty to pick up on. Achapi aggressing, trying to pull those shots in towards himself, but is that going to be enough? Waffle's Monster still with the lead here, but not for long, as Greek gets taken down by Achapi. Tensai now really low as well. Can Greek go in here and drop that bomb? Drunken playing that aggressive game, but will pay for it as Mameshi manages to snuff him out. 9-4, and Waffle's Monster, they need to hustle, Victor.
They need to hustle. They need to get some additional kills because so far the super kills from Greek is still not cutting it yet. It's bringing them close, but still no cigar yet. They really need to try to find a way to keep this Piper under pressure here because so far Ochi is just really making Kid Drunken's life a living hell here. He finally gets the kill on her, so that's putting them only 1 star away. But the thing is, Jupiter does have the blue star, so they still need to get at least 1 more kill here to get a good confirmation. So that's the thing, Jupiter now, they know this as well. That's why they're taking a very defensive position right now on the map. They're not going up too far forward, not taking it too aggressively. They know that as long as they can just keep this 1-star lead, they are still through. But no, look at that! Kid Drunken picks up a kill onto the Piper. Now the pressure has completely flipped around. Jupiter now could be full. What the heck? A good kill there by the good kill, just kind of tied things up, but because Jupiter had the blue star, they will win this tie-breaking round here on this first set. Whoa, my goodness.
Goodness me, what a comeback at that very, very last moment to equalize things. But amazing play coming in from the Singaporeans. Waffle's monster unfortunately does not defeat Jupiter. But set after set, we are starting to see them ramp it up. Just like what they have done yesterday. But you know, even yesterday, it just wasn't enough. Being able to push it into match number 4, being able to just take 1 set away from your opponents throughout all of the round robins is definitely not gonna be enough. And Waffle's monster, man, this is the start of maybe something new. Are they gonna be able to make a comeback after so close to taking away game number 2 here?
That's the thing, it feels like Waffle Monsters right now are literally on the knife edge here. And what I mean by that is like they literally are doing just enough, you know, to barely cut it. And I feel that this is kind of risky, especially up against a team that's as strong as Jupiter, because if this is literally the best you could do here, I think Jupiter is going to really wash the whole matchup here in the long run. So I don't know, like looking at the next map here, is going to be a siege map, so hopefully this one will give a little bit more advantage to rather allow Waffle Monsters to take a slightly slower approach to the game, to the game, because they have to kind of like gather up the bolts, right? There's still a little bit of a rhythm that has to play in that round, so hopefully this will give a little bit more of a breather, I would say, as like Waffle Monsters, the last 2 rounds have been mostly just high intensity. Gem grab, very intense, especially during the last few seconds. Bounty, you saw the intensity in those final few seconds there of the round. So I think this will be a slight change of pace that will be very welcome for the Waffle Monster side, but I think they still need to find something extra here if they really want to really push this whole set to their favor. So yeah, I think still a lot of work to be done for our Singaporean squad, but for Jupiter, well, I think so far, I think they should be pretty confident at this point right now.
Yeah, and you know, the confidence needs to kind of be curbed a little bit as well, right? We can't allow them to go on here and rampage through all of these teams. And you know, the Singaporeans can make a good comeback. Waffle's monster, they've shown us that, you know, they've been able to just take 1 set away yesterday. Can they continuously, you know, question their opposition and pull at least 2 sets back in here, maybe pushes into game number 5 all the way through? You know, the one thing that I've noticed thus far, Victor, is although they do go in and try to mirror some of their picks sometimes, the side of Waffle's monster, they keep falling, unfortunately, because the mechanical play by Jupiter is just pinpoint accuracy, right? Each and every single shot that they take definitely goes in for the fall. So I would really love to see maybe Frank being brought in by the Singaporeans just so he can last a little bit longer in some of these gunfights.
Yeah, so let's see whether or not that's going to be the case here. So Frank is going to be used here on Creek, and he's really putting up the waterworks here onto Waoji. That's already 1 pick off there, so a Bolt already being sent their way so far. It looks like very much even between the 2. Kid Drunken now going to get a jump onto Mamishi. The Bull is going to get taken down. So far, no Siege Ball is going to be sent out yet. They are tied for bolts after all, but Wampamon, now they have a 2-ball lead here. So Waoji is going to try to bring the pressure up onto Creek. It's doing a lot of damage there onto the Frank. He's going to get taken down. Now Kid Drunken is attempting to try to hold his ground here as Jupiter attempts to push up and pull the position here because they need to get her up enough balls here to tie it up. They've successfully done so, but now the rank of Greek is going to try his best to get a jump onto Moji. Moji gets him taken down, but no, Kid Drunken gets the kill onto him. Still trades so far. Jupiter still 2 balls ahead. Now Kid Drunken sends some balls back to their side. At this rate though, I think Jupiter should get the siege spot.
Oh, yeah, man. There's just 3 more seconds left in here, and Jupiter. Oh, it's all falls up. Brilliant play by Waffle's Monster towards the very end. Now, Greek, he should be able to survive for just a little longer, but Mameshi dropping in towards his right-hand side. Get Drunken now. They should be able to gank this. Mameshi's going to get taken out in a couple of seconds, and bye-bye, Mameshi. And it's going to be Waffle's Monster this time with the lead on all of those balls. And it's going to be Kid Drunken now with the backstab. Noping getting taken down by that side. Jupiter still in the play as they'll try to now take Kid Drunken out of this equation. Kid Drunken managing to move away from trouble, and Jupiter's right back in there, and it's all equal right back through as the Japanese will try to take the lead, but the Singaporeans are just not letting this go, Victor.
Oh my goodness, it's still 1 bolt apart. No, now the 2 bolts apart here. It looks like, yes, finally, siege spot is going to show up on this map, and it's going to be level 20. It looks like they saved the best for last year. They got to kill the Kid Drunken. This could be bad, though. They're not focused on the bot. The bot is going straight towards their base, and looks like just do all the damage here. I think they're done. Oh my goodness, it was quite a holdout here, but still, Jupiter, they got it done.
But I want to say, right, the side of Waffle's Monster, they are kind of, bringing out the confidence in me. But, dude, my man, we are on set number 3. We are running out of time. But, set after set, Waffle's Monster, they are getting closer and closer and closer. The only problem here, Victor, is I'm afraid that they are not going to get close enough to push us into a set number 5. They're going to be close enough to tease us with, possibilities, but I don't think they're anywhere, near to shutting Jupiter as well as their aggression down. Because each and every single question put forth by the Singaporeans have been countered, answered perfectly by the Japanese so far.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's a case where I think literally these boys are shifted into 6th gear, but somehow the Japanese have got 1 extra gear on top. And so you can see they were literally tooth and nail in that round there. I mean, you saw twice in a row they were tied for bolts, and this goes to show they were so back and forth in the fights. Like halfway through the match, I was wondering, are they really fighting for kills here, or are they trying to fight for bolts? Because it seems like they were more focused on fighting each other than actually trying to get the siege spot. But then again, it's such a close match here. Let's go into round number 2 now. Let's see if Waffle Monsters can keep this up, or will they be able to get a good change up? It's going to be using a stew here on Kid Drunken. That's going to be interesting. Let's see whether or not that's going to be up though. Wabuchi gets a kill! Gets a kill onto the Pama Greek. Now they will be able to pick up some bolts on their end here, so at least they have 1 each. But then now Jupiter, at least with that 1 pickup, they get another 1 there. This time Kid Drunken, he bites the dust. The siege bot is on its way, but Jupiter are already stopping it in his tracks, putting it all the way down. Looks like it should be able to be down and almost out. Does a few hits there on the base before he gets taken down. Not much damage done here for the Jupiter side.
Mameshi almost taken down here, but doing just enough. What a turnaround as he will instead stand strong, dropping his opposition. Noping now, gonna get eliminated. Jupiter just waving their flag up high. Kid Drunken trying to drop in some answers for the side of the Singaporeans, but even he gets run down, and it looks like a Chappie is not gonna slow down. Kid Drunken right now, another shot towards him, but Kid Drunken manages to respond to all of those, the flurry of shots that Jupiter continuously rains down on them. And right now it's going to be a level 6 siege spot, but nowhere near enough to eliminate Waffle's Monster from this fight just yet. 30 seconds to go to the next, and Waffle's Monster look like they are hungry to get the siege spot on their end, Victor.
Big difference now. They really, without the Frank, they're not clearing out the walls or the bushes, so there's a lot more obstacles in the way, and that's making it harder for them to actually take some of these fights. Oh, there's going to be an attempt there. Mameshi unfortunately tries to go to jump in, but Pam had her healing turret up, so she is still going to be very, very much alive. Kid Drunken has his own super up as well, so he's getting some extra boost on his speed, and that's allowing him to maneuver around very well. Now a level 15 siege bot is coming Jupiter's way. I hope they are ready for this though, but look at that. They're going to try to go for a backdoor here while the siege bot is being held up on the front. The Tensai is going to try to hold up the siege bot here. They're going to try to go for a backdoor attempt here. Waffle Monsters, are they aware of this though? Oh, they're going to get picked off here, unfortunately, before they're going to be able to react to this. Oh my goodness, Jupiter, they are able to just keep it down, and unfortunately, the siege bot not able to move at all allows Jupiter to win 2 rounds in a row.
Oh my goodness. Waffle's monster absolutely outclassed in the first series to open the day up in here today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The Japanese just a little too good. Waffle's monster had no response whatsoever. The clean victory on that final game there just shows exactly what these other teams are up against here, Victor. Jupiter holding that level 15 siege bot back, and at the same time finding that backdoor opener towards the side of Waffle's monster as well as their safe, dealing that damage. And even if they had gone in for such a split, they still managed to handle that siege. I don't even know how they did that.
Again, it's a syrup. It's the magic meme syrup here that Lou has, and that's the thing. His super has this weird interaction here on siege mats where if he unleashes it in front of a wall and the siege bot walks into it, he's gonna get stuck in position. And Tenshi literally used this to their advantage because while he did that, the siege bot. It was a level 15 siege bot, so it would have done a lot of damage if it actually gotten on their base. But because he's gotten it frozen there, they managed to get the backdoor instead onto Waffle Monsters, completely catching them off guard there. I really, oh man, this is just such brilliant plays here coming from the Japanese team, and it's literally what I live for, man. This is why I keep telling people that you have to watch Brawl Stars because you never know. There's always such interesting, creative ways you can play this game that really can throw even the most experienced players out for a loop. So well done here to Jupiter. Very well deserved 3-0 for the man.
Crazy 200 IQ plays there from Jupiter just to close this out. Let's take a quick look at the recap of all of the sets in here and see once again exactly how did Jupiter take this victory here today.
Yeah, so it all started off in gem grab here. For the most part, the Pam and the Rico, the range was just so hard for the Waffle Monsters to even try to get close enough to the spawner. So for the most part, Pam was just controlling the gem spawner for most of the match here, collecting all of those gems. Waffle Monsters, they really had to time their attacks right here. They tried to go for one last-ditch attempt, which was really good. It actually forced the countdown to stop, but unfortunately, they managed to get the gems back, and by that point, I think Waffle Monsters completely broken. The healing ward, like I said, the healing turrets here from Pam was really what made it so hard for Waffle Monsters to even take fights against her.
Yeah, man. Mameshi was just crazy when he was in that game, even as the Crow as well. They keep changing up their approaches into these matches, and you know that's the problem that Waffle's Monsters were facing again and again right here. That they just did not know what sort of a strategy to drop back into. But this was the time where the Waffle's Monster kind of managed to turn things around for just a little bit.
Yeah, for just a little bit. But when it came to the next round there, I think Waffle Monsters kind of like slacked up a bit because look at that, like they just at the last minute there, a super kill kind of like made it so that Jupiter was able to win out that round. And I think that if Waffle Monsters had put out a little bit more of a buffer there, that could have prevented that from happening.
Yeah, man, and this was the level 20 siege bot that Waffle's Monster could not deal with, and then later on they were to send their own bunch of siege bots towards the side of Jupiter, but no damage at all, Victor.
No damage, the siege bot completely stuck and frozen in the ground there thanks to Lou's syrup, but I mean, it just calls to mind that meme I saw on the Brawl Stars subreddit earlier today, where it's like, who's gonna win, a level 20 siege bot or one syrupy boy?
Well, the answer is the syrupy boy, right? Level 20 siege bot, level 15 siege bot. Yep, you bring them on. Syrup's got it all sorted, right? Drop Lou in and he should be able to take it. But, you know, that was a play that was so unexpected from the side of Jupiter. If anything, it almost looked like they were not really playing for the siege bots at all. just so they could pull that backdraw entrance as well as react. Because even if that was not their strategy from the get-go, it makes them even more lethal if you think about it, Victor. The fact of the matter is that they were able to pull that off purely by an instant reaction.
I mean, it just speaks to the level of like in-depth knowledge I think that Jupiter has of this game of Brawl Stars. I mean, for them to know that such a thing is possible in this game just shows that they understand this game inside and out. So, nevertheless, very well done to both our teams here.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump into series number 2 now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And who do we have lined up for you? None other than the side of the very, very smiley, sunny side up, as well as Crazy Lagoon. Whether or not they'll be able to light our day up with 5 back-to-back sets here is still to be seen. Both of these sides, sunny side up, they didn't really have a great day yesterday. White Maple Leaf as well as Dreadlord. Unfortunately for them, they had to take a 3-0 defeat. So can they change their fate around today, Victor?
Well, they certainly will have to hope that today will bring some good fortunes for them. Looking at their top picks and bans here, again, Max still very much a favorite for a lot of these teams here. And for Sunnyside Up, it is no different. In terms of bans, though, they don't seem to like Byron or Poco that much, though. So I guess too bad, though, for those Poco guys, I guess. But for Sunnyside Up, I think this is going to be a good chance for them to try to turn their fortunes around, because while they could suddenly forget about yesterday, today it's going to matter quite a bit here if they really want to show themselves to be capable in these challengers. So their challenger, though, speaking of which, is the Crazy Lagoons, comprised of Sepatame, RKS Miria, and CL Kuru. So these Japanese team, again, very, very dominant all throughout the competition here. Top picks and bans, very, very familiar. I've been following all about Japanese teams so far. Similar to their Japanese counterparts, they don't like to play against Stu and Bell because they are the strongest brawlers right now in Brawl Stars. Their top picks, of course, are the Gene and Max, and also a Sandy to boot, which seems to be a Crazy Lagoon favorite.
Yeah, the Japanese are always, very strong on the meta. Whether or not Crazy Lagoon will be able to drop in here and take a victory for themselves is a huge question. Yesterday, they were defeated, unfortunately, 3-1. So an opportunity for an uprising, an opportunity to make a comeback in here. And of course, that, most probably might fall on the expense of Sunny Side Up. Now, the side of Sunny Side Up, the Indonesians haven't, done too great for themselves yesterday as well. They have been defeated 3-0. So both sides have got a lot to prove in here. Only one can come up on top. Do you, by any chance, have do you favor either side a little bit more based on what we have seen yesterday, Victor?
Oh, well, I would still say that the Crazy Lagoon side will still end up being stronger, just based on like what I've seen from them so far. Yeah. But I'm still gonna have a soft spot for our Indonesian friends here, because for Sunny Side Up, they hadn't had the best of days yesterday. So today I'm just gonna root for them a little harder here. So hopefully they'll be able to bring something good for us today. Let's enter our first round here. It is Gem Grab. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. So Sunny Side Up starting on blue, Crazy Lagoon on red. Dreadlord trying to get a good position there. Tries to get some bounces, hopefully get some damage done to Tame and Miria. That's going to be enough damage there to get onto Miria as Maple picks up the kill there. It's going to be pretty good though, because 8-Bit needs to get super up so they can get good control over the gems here in the center. Byron's trying to go for the dive. He picks up 3 gems here, and it's not getting punished too hard yet until Dreadlord unleashes his super. A beautiful one there. Now Winnie, fortunately, gets picked up there in the Cyber Crew, but at least they are successful in keeping the gems in their hands. Sunnyside Hub, they are ahead as Tame tries his best to get up ahead. He's going up, but no, the bull gets picked up by the 8-Bit.
Oh, amazing play here now. Are they going to be able to take Dreadlord out of this equation? I don't think the side of Crazy Lagoon know that Dreadlord is towards the right-hand side of the map. They are trying to go in here for the push. C4, he is going to get taken down again if he's not careful. Dreadlord firing all of those shots perfectly, but he will be able to find a little bit of a cover for himself. 2 minutes left on the clock, which means there's more than enough time for the side of Crazy Lagoon to make a comeback through here as Dreadlord drops C4 something once again. Now, Guru going for the backstab. Wayne will be eliminated, and Sunny Side Up are up 9-4 here, Victor.
The thing is that when it was really trying to delay time enough so that a gem could spawn in time for Sunnyside to pick it up, but unfortunately that has not come to pass. Sunnyside was still one gem short of Sunday countdown. Supatame is going to try to go into Dreadlord. Dreadlord in a very dangerous position. Supatame tried his best to stay in front. He unleashes his gadget here. The Bull still able to stay in position. He really wants to get a kill onto this Rico here, and he's not letting it go. Maple now tries to go in, and finally takes a kill on him. The crew now tries to go in for a bit of a backstab, but no, Winnie's in position there to keep them on check. Still one gem away from starting to count down on either side. This is a very, very close fight. Maple trying to go for it. He's going to get it just in time. So 15 seconds is going to count down now. Crazy Lagoon going to have to try the best now to get a pop-off. Can they do it though? Maple gets popped really low, but he's staying so far back. He's making it so hard for them. Now they picked up one gem each. They're going to be able to stop the countdown. Now the red team is going to be able to take it with the kills coming in onto Maple. Now it's going to be Sunnyside Up's turn to feel the pressure. Dreadlord now trying to go up in front. Winnie setting on position. They try to go in for the flank, but Winnie not quite in range though. Dreadlord trying his best to go up to the flank. And Rosa is up in the spot, but she's getting popped off. That's all on the floor. They're all on the floor, and no one is trying to pick it up quite yet. But no, now Crazy Lagoon is respawned. They're picking up the gems. They got 17 in their hands. My goodness, what the heck is this match, ladies and gentlemen? Maple winning now, trying to hold on, but I think it's going to be a heck of a red tide here that they're going to have to contend with, because Crazy Lagoon, they still have the countdown. They still have the gems. Sunnyside Up, they have nowhere to go, nowhere to run. This first round goes to CL.
Goodness me. Miria had about, 17 stars, 17 gems on himself, and that was just an all-out victory for the side of Crazy Lagoon. It was definitely a crazy match, swinging back and forth from, each other's side. But at the very end of the day, that's the sort of Brawl Star matchup that we want to witness in here, Victor.
I love it. I love it. Like, mutually assured destruction right there, taking each other out and getting all the gems spilled out on the floor. I mean, the janitor is going to have one heck of a job to clean that up later on, so we'll give him time. We wait for the next match to be set up. But, I just had this really funny thought, I was thinking about this matchup here, right? Sunnyside Up, Crazy Lagoon. This is technically like breakfast at the beach. Unfortunately, it's 7:30 p.m., so I don't think this quite works,
Yeah, I don't think it works at all, man. And to be able to make a comeback right now, it's not gonna be a too much of a tall order for the side of a Sunny Side, right? Are we gonna be able to see them make a comeback with the exact same sort of a gameplay? Are they gonna be changing anything up? Quite honestly, I don't want them to change anything up, right? I think the game was being played to perfection.
Chaotic perfection, I have to say. Oh, I think we might just lost AJ there for a sec, so apologies for that. But yeah, I think if they can keep this level of play up, we're certainly in for a really, really good show here, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know, looking at it now, I mean, onus is definitely going to be on the Sunny Side Up here to try to follow up the performance. Hey, welcome back here, AJ, as we are still waiting on our next matchup here. But it's, as you guys coming back, I was just mentioning to our viewers here that I think a lot of onus now is going to be on Sunny Side Up to try to bring back one round here against Crazy Lagoon. I think pretty much they could still do it. It's just that I felt that this first round was so chaotic that I don't know whether will they still have a good game plan going in, or this is going to go full on aggression, try to get those kills and just steal those gems.
I'm quite surprised with the fact that Sunny Side Up did not win that matchup, right? Because I feel like they were playing it slightly, better than their opposition. The fact of the matter is, Crazy Lagoon, they were going in for some of these, crazy pushes, as their name would call for them. And, Sunny Side Up, they were playing the safer side. They didn't really go in and aggress. They kept themselves behind those walls. But towards the very end, when the game just got so close, it was just all of the strategy just went down the drain all of a sudden. It was just an all-out brawl for those stars, literally.
Yeah, as intense it happens here, Brawl Stars. Oh my goodness, Sipotapne already taking out Maple right from the get-go, and Maple switching off from the 8-bit to take the bull this time around, which is kind of interesting, but maybe they might have some other games in plan. So Sipotapne goes in front, gets a kill on the Dreadlord. Now Maple's in pressure now, trying to get a trade, but no, Sipotapne, he gets a kill again, and he gets away with it. What the heck, man? Now Crazy Lagoon having absolute control over the gem spawner. There are 6 gems up, and Sunnyside Up still has 0.
Oh, Miria should be able to take this, but Maple just rushing through. But what is the point if you're going to get snuffed out so easily? Crazy Lagoon onto that 8-gem run now. Dreadlord just going in for the chase. Sipotapne going to get eliminated. Maple not able to put that final shot in. Guru, on the other hand, will be able to take down Wine, and that should be able to put the team of Crazy Lagoon in here for the potential countdown. Just one more gem to pick up. Dreadlord, on the other hand, will be pulling that in for the side of Sunnyside Up. So that's not going to work. But Sipotapne, he's going to make it happen for the side of Crazy Lagoon. But on the other side, they've already dropped those gems, picked right back up by the one and only Kuru. And this is going to be the countdown. Are they going to be able to eliminate Kuru as well as Sipotapne? Here comes Miria. Opportunity. They do exactly not that, because Maple is the one that falls and the match is all over.
Oh my goodness. Very quick round there, I have to say, but man, Crazy Lagoon were really on it here this round here. Like this time, they left nothing to chance. They kept control over the gem spawner so well. I was surprised though that Sunnyside was switch up, because I thought the 8-bit was still a strong pick here. But I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit weird, but I guess Sunnyside Up's probably going to have to think about the next set, though, because this first set, unfortunately, didn't quite work out well for them.
Yeah, I think they were trying to go in here with the approach with the Bull to pick those stars up and expect Bull to be able to hold on to those stars, because, you know, he's not, you know, super tanky, but he is able to survive, you know, some of these fights, and more than being able to survive, he's able to dish that damage out as well, right? So, you know, definitely a safe bet to be holding on to those gems, but unfortunately, it just didn't get pulled off well. And, you know, the side of Sunnyside Up, they just need to figure out exactly how they can pull this back for themselves. In game number 2, whether or not that'll be possible will really depend, will be shown to us through game number 1, right? Because Crazy Lagoon, although they kind of showed SSU being able to take quite an equal match in game number 1, it did not look the same in game 2, Victor.
Yeah, so again, I'm really think Sunnyside was going to have to change things up for the next set, but I think they're still pretty capable actually of taking handling this matchup here. I think it's just they need to optimize some of the strategies a bit, maybe think a little bit better about what kind of compositions they want to go with. If they want to try to go for mirror, then better hope that they are a lot better than Crazy Lagoon in executing the lineup. So yeah, I think those are the kind of considerations here for our Indonesian squad. But for Crazy Lagoon though, so far I think they're pretty much on point, and right now it's going to be Sunnyside Up's turn to step up to the plate.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Now, the next game is going to be Bounty at Shooting Star, and this is just going to be so much more aggressive compared to game number 1. If game number 1 was already a back and forth, now it's going to, you know, get a little bit of an extra, you know, objective thrown in here as well. Who's going to be able to pick that Blue Star up? And quite evidently, it's going to be Crazy Lagoon, who has been so much more aggressive compared to Sunnyside Up. Dreadlord with a beautiful flight in will be able to avoid those shots. Sipotapne, on the other hand, so close to getting eliminated, walks out of there alive. But Crazy Lagoon, they already have enough on their side for the time being at least.
Well, they have, and it's a very interesting strategy here with Crazy Lagoon, because they're really using the Poco and the Bull here to get up into the face of Sunnyside Up. So really, that's going to really hurt Dreadlord here, because Piper doesn't have the damage at these close range. But Sipotapne, unfortunately, his gadget not able to keep the damage away as Winnie picks up the kill now. Now they're going to try to focus on the Guru. He does have a bit of heals though, but unfortunately one last shot by Dreadlord will seal the deal. So the thing is that so far Crazy Lagoon's aggressive strat does bring in the stars, but conversely, Sunny Side Up is still able to punish them for these positions.
Yeah, but then Bull just going in, just plowing through all of the defenses so that Sunny Side Up will not be able to hide. I just love what Sipothamte is doing in here, eliminating all of the defensive stance that Sunny Side Up can take and then pulling away those stars. But the problem here is Sunny Side Up, now they can back away from this equation as Maple will drop Sipothamte once again. Kuru not able to slice, finally does manage to eliminate Dreadlord, pulling those stars back for themselves at the 10 star mark so far. Crazy Lagoon have been able to do just enough. They don't even need that blue star. They are in the lead, Victor.
Even Nani Super wasn't able to get the kill that time. It takes one, gets cancelled off even before it's able to touch Crazy Lagoon. Looks like they might just win it out, and then Piper isn't able to get a shot in with 5 seconds to go. They're really trying to amp out the pressure. Sipothamte tries his best to get in front, but Ryan Dreadlord picks up a kill. That is enough though. No, it's not though. Crazy Lagoon still had the blue star. Crazy Lagoon still wins out round 1, and I think at this point though, I mean, Sunny Side Up must be feeling real frustrated.
Yeah, they are feeling real frustrated. It all happened split second, right? Very, very final moment. Sunny Side Up managed to steal 1 kill, but Sipothamte had already gone in there charging, with his head, right? And he managed to get 1 final kill at that very, very last second. Totally unexpected. Crazy Lagoon still pulling off these very, very final moment clutches. And Sunny Side Up's not going to be too pleased with that at all, Victor.
No, not at all. Like I said, they're definitely going to be feeling frustrated because now this is 3 rounds in a row where last minute clutches here from Crazy Lagoon has sealed it. So wow, yeah. I mean, I'm just speechless only because this is really, like I said, Crazy Lagoon really are turned on this match here. Like they are 100% focused, committed, and you saw like the kind of lineup they did is very different than what I would expect to see from most teams taking this bounty run, because you expect to see a lot more sharpshooters. Open areas means that will be a lot of like dodging, going around. But no, Crazy Lagoon decide we're gonna pick Poco and Bull and we're gonna charge right up at your face, just get those stars. So yeah, very aggressive, and I really like it because this shows that Crazy Lagoon isn't afraid to experiment and try something a little different.
Yeah, I love it, and it's more than experimenting, right? I think they've already seen through the side of Sunny Side Up, and they've realized that, Sunny Side Up really loves playing such a defensive game. Now, you drop into a map like Shooting Star. As it is, the cover that you have on the map is so little. And, bringing Bull in there just to demolish whatever little bit of cover they still have on that map was just perfection, right? And once you push them to a corner that like that already, what is Sunny Side Up to do? They had to back away literally towards the edge of the map, towards the very bottom. Still, once again, no cover whatsoever, just to wait to get annihilated. I feel like Crazy Lagoon's playing this to perfection, and the Japanese should be able to pull a W above the Indonesians' heads here. Sipothamte going in for a very, very close push once again, and that Bull will be looking to put in all of that damage. Let's see exactly what Maple is going to be serving up here. Should be able to drop some of these long shots. Sipothamte once again aggressing, but will be able to walk away. Miria gets eliminated, and that just starts things off on a sweet note for Sunny Side Up.
Yeah, the very critical thing as well to keep the Poco suppressed as much as they can, and if they can, they will literally focus on him if they could, because he's literally the main healer. He's the main reason why Sipothamte and Kurua can afford to be so aggressive here. Once the Poco is down, then they can try to focus on Sipothamte, but Kuru is going to be a bit of a challenge here because Dreadlord's going to get popped off completely here. Crazy Lagoon now 2 stars ahead, and they have the blue star in hand, and Sipothamte continues to try to spawn camp. Then Dreadlord again finding himself caught between a rock and a hard place, and it's Kuru who put an end to his misery there, winning. Dreadlord literally getting spawn killed every single time. This is looking so bad here with Sunny Side Up because they're not even getting returns at all.
Yeah, this is just a GG, bro, but they might be able to take Sipothamte eliminated here from situation. Maple should be able to pull this off. One more shot. Triple down, they still standing. Beautiful comeback by Sunny Side Up. But will they be able to pull 3 more stars onto their side? Dreadlord getting eliminated is going to make things so much more difficult for the side of Sunny Side Up. Now, Sipotante dropping back through Guru. And this is going to be Frank. Frank's going to be so difficult to take out. But if they manage to drop Frank, maybe things can fall through their way. Dreadlord with the shot. No! Frank still stands. Guru still stands. And Crazy Lagoon on the 29-star beats Sunny Side Up.
Stop hitting them. They're already dead. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Okay, like if you not to reference to another game, but if you know what spawn like fountain camping is, that was literally the equivalent of that happening right here in Brawl Stars. I mean, the moment they spawn,
this was all due to the fact that you don't really have that much ammo when you drop back in there for that spawn. They couldn't go in for the response. They couldn't go in for those shots. They literally got locked at their spawn, eliminated one after the other. But that was such a risky gameplay, right? Because you are holding up and you're collecting all of these stars. When these players respawn, if you do get dropped after continuously just standing there, taking them out one after the other, you getting dropped final second can just drop all of those stars into their laps. But I feel like, as Crazy Lagoon played it so well, sending that Frank in, and they knew Frank's not gonna fall that easily. And that guy just, walks through the side of Sunny Side Up, continuously hammering them down.
Yeah, and he still had time to charge up, lead up his super, and then land it. Oh my goodness! I mean, this was just literally Crazy Lagoon stomping onto Sunny Side Up. But I think I was more surprised that Up didn't try things up. I mean, if they did switch off to instead of sharpshooters here, that might have given them a much better shot, I think, at this round.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's again, I think mistakes were made here, but overall, like Sunny Side Up, perhaps it could. I mean, it's not the best for them, unfortunately. That's pretty much all I have to say about that, though. But yeah.
I mean, I love the composition that Crazy Lagoon is bringing in here, because they are showing us that they are not just playing a straightforward, I'm going to shoot you in your face and take the game away. They're looking at the map, and they're looking at the strategies that they drop into those maps game after game, right? They're not taking the exact same approach back to back, only because they don't want to, set up an easy match for Sunny Side Up. And I feel like Crazy Lagoon has been able to mix it up very well so far. I mean, dropping in 2 heavyweights into that match was absolute perfection, right? If they had not done that, that spawn trap would not be so simple. They wouldn't have been able to eliminate the opposition so many times again and again and still stand tall and be alive to fight that out towards the very end, right? And that was a huge gamble to take. But, they really believed in themselves, as well as, those characters that they brought into that matchup. So I feel like, this is just a really great setup coming from Crazy Lagoon. We might be able to see a 3-0 Crazy Sweep once again.
Yeah, I mean, the chances of that look quite high, but again, it's going to be a completely different game mode. Given that it's going to be Siege, the pacing is definitely very much slower compared to the Gem Grant Bounty rounds we've seen so far. So, just like with our previous matchup, again, I hope that this third round here will give Sunny Side Up a change of a pace that will hopefully get them onto the right track again. But the thing is that it seems like Crazy Lagoon somehow will still find a way to outclass them. So yeah, I really hope, I can only just hope the best for Sunny Side Up at this point, though. But this last set here is going to be one last shot for them, at least against Crazy Lagoon here.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to walk you guys through the bans so far. Sunny Side Up has banned Bell as well as Stu. Crazy Lagoon does not want to play El Primo or Colette, so we will not be seeing these 4 champs in. But you know, when we're talking about Factory Rush, when we're talking about a Siege, we will be expecting to see a few of these sharpshooters drop in, right? 8-Bit as well as Rico has been able to show exactly how well they can handle this map, exactly how well they'll be able to pressure their opposition. Frank is going to be a definite favorite as well, as he will be so tanky, being able to pick all of those nuts and bolts up. Yes, granted that he wants a couple for the side of his heads as well, but his heads, he only has one head for the sides of his head. But you know, hopefully he keeps some for his team.
Yeah, don't worry. I get what you mean. So, but yeah, it's again, like we're still awaiting this third set here between our Indonesian and Japanese squads. So we'll still be patient until that comes up. But yeah, I think like at this point now, Sunny Side Up pretty much just it's going to be really a real tall order here to try to make a one heck of a comeback. But then again, they can still try to learn as much as they can, against a team that's as strong as Crazy Lagoon here, because this could only help them in their future matchups if they can see that, oh, these are the kind of strategies that these teams are playing on these kind of maps. So maybe they could learn a little bit from this and hopefully apply them in some of their future matchups.
Okay, now let's see if or not maybe Sprout's going to be dragged in here by either side. Sprout should be able to kind of, force your opposition to switch strategies mid-game based on the way he's able to take some of these shots over that wall. But look at Dreadlord and Miria now just go up against each other. Maple as well as Sipo Tamte bringing in a mirror pick for both sides on for the Siege. Who trying to take Dreadlord out, but he will face such a heavy price for that attempt. Miria unable to take the rank from the opposition, and they will be able to see at the very least a level 3 for their side. And it looks like Crazy Lagoon has just done enough at the get-go, but it's just not enough.
Oh my, look at that though. Sunny Side Up, they are taking a lot of damage on the base here. Looks like a bit of a backdoor attempt was done, and that has done quite a number there. Miria finally gets a kill on the Dreadlord after much tribulations there early on in this game, but now Maple's coming in. He does get the trade up onto the Frank though, so I guess that cancels out in the end. Sibutamte no, trying to contest Winnie for this ball though, but Sibutamte gets the kill on the Winnie, picks up the bolt as well. Kuru in the meantime doing the Lord's work here, taking down Dreadlord. Now a level 6 siege bot will be coming out from the Sunny Side sides up. Let's see whether or not this is going to be able to serve up a meal here against Crazy Lagoon. So coming up, Miria is going to try to hold it back for now. It's still being quite a lot of damage here, 800 per hit, so that's quite a lot that Miria is going to have to tank. So Matante no, keeps it close, and they will be able to keep the T-bot away from the base. So no damage done to Crazy Lagoon's base so far, but Sunny Side Up, they're already down by 36 percentage points. Matante gets killed with Maple. Dreadlord now trying to bring close against Miria, but no, he gets taken out instead. Bolts are mostly going to Crazy Lagoon now, and Sunny Side Up, they're nowhere to be found.
Oh, I love what Maple just did, man. He just, just ran through all of those barricades, and he's just cleared up such an amazing run for the Siege bot for their side. But unfortunately for the side of Sunny Side Up, they will now have to look through this Siege bot. Maple trying to hold it back. 10,000 HP left here, but the damage has already been done. Sunny Side Up, they've soaked a little bit too much, and I believe there's more than enough for Crazy Lagoon to pick a easy victory here, Victor.
Yep. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that was an easy victory by any stretch, but still a very, very long and hard-fought defense there by Sunny Side Up. The thing is that they weren't able to bring any attacks though, or any significant attacks against Crazy Lagoon's own base. So I think that in the end, like, pretty much Crazy Lagoon is just keeping the pressure up on them, constantly getting the pickoffs and the trades. So I mean, for Sunny Side Up, this is looking again like another difficult set for them, and I'm afraid that it's not looking too good for them at this stage.
Yeah, it's not looking good for them at all. Sunny side up, they're not really taking the risk that, Crazy Lagoon very clearly attempts to take some of these times. They are dropping in there even without the siege bot to see if or not they are able to get some of the damage dealt towards the save of the opposition. And it looks like that's the kind of strategy that's very, very useful, right? It just puts a little bit of an extra pressure on your opposition. Even though they've got the siege bot coming up next, they are in the running to take on the next wave. It's still a situation where they're thinking, do we have enough time on that clock? Are they going to be able to stop our siege bot? And as they are, just going through all of these questions in their head, Crazy Lagoon, they've already figured out their game plan from the get-go, right? And they just stick to that. Is that going to be enough to take this set as well? We will just have to wait and see, Victor.
Yeah, and again, I think it was mostly Crazy Lagoon's backdoor that really put Sunny Side Up on the back foot, because I think Sunny Side Up, they did well actually to keep the siege bot from actually getting to their base, but it was when they tried to go back for the bolts, they didn't realize that one of the members of Crazy Lagoon literally backdoored them and put it down 36%. That's right, down to 64%, and that pretty much put them on the back foot that whole round. So let's see whether or not they will be able to learn from that mistake. Hopefully this time they'll be a little bit wiser. Now Dreadlord is going to switch off though to a bull to meet the bull of Sipatamte. Let's see whether or not that's going to work out for him. Winnie trying to hold the middle position. Oh, Maple trying to go for the jump on Miria. He's going to take a lot of damage. No, Maple is going to be one taken down instead. Darryl still able to stay alive despite Winnie trying to go for the tread, and Dreadlord gets picked up in the meantime. So, Siege Bot level 3 already on its way. Maple trying to hold it in his tracks, setting down as many of the shots as he can as a prank. He can tank a lot of these damage, but he cannot tank it for too long. And you already see Miria trying to go straight onto the base. He's already putting it down by 20 percentage points. And not only now they've just taken down the Siege Bot, but look at that. The wall literally in front of the base is completely annihilated. So there's not much defense here the Sunny Side Up can pull going forwards.
Perfection being pulled off by Crazy Lagoon as Hipotamte goes in for one more lockdown. Dreadlord eliminated by Miria. Wayne with the slice as well. Now this is a position that Crazy Lagoon should be able to take another victory. This is not going to be a time for siege because it's a tie. But let's see if or not Sunny Side Up will be able to respond quite strongly. Getting those ties is going to work out in their manner because they will be able to bring in a much stronger siege bot later on. Now Maple getting swashed back. Ooh. And this Frank is just not able to do much, Victor.
Not able to do much this time, but the thing is that for the most part, Sunny Side Up still has a lot to worry about on their end if the siege bot does come out with the blue side. So far, bolts are favoring their end. The attempt there didn't quite work off of Sipatamte. Gets picked off. Miria very low, didn't get traded off unfortunately though, so Dreadlord still able to keep him at bay. So far, Sunny Side Up has a 3-fold advantage. This could be good as siege bot might be coming up soon, but now final attempt here by Sipatamte trying to get a kill. That's not going to work out. Siege bot's going to come out, but look at that! Miria is going straight for the base. He tried his best, but he managed to only get it down 48 percentage points. Now the level 16 Siege bot is on its way. Kuru is going to be able to get it knocked back just in time. About 12 seconds left though. Siege bot's still on its way. Maple trying his best, gets the damage done onto the base, but it still doesn't look like it might be enough. Now the bot's running on, bringing the punches. Oh, it's found. It might be enough. Great Lagoon, they're losing the base. They lost this round.
Goodness me, Sunny Side Up pulls it off. And, as the match was running, this was something that we, kind of threw out there as well. Getting those ties with those bolts really might just fall in the favor of Sunny Side Up, because if they are able to have the advantage when that siege bot timer runs down, the power level of that siege bot is going to be one where the side of, Crazy Lagoon's not going to be able to hold back. And we see once again Crazy Lagoon pulling off that sneaky attack, that backdoor access towards the side of Sunny Side Up, getting that damage done. And would that be enough? No. Why? Because of the fact that siege bot level 16 is too much to handle, and we might be... Okay, I'm not going to say it, man. The verge of a comeback is just a long shot right now for Sunny Side Up, but that's a great game finally taken by them.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a huge confidence boost now for Sunny Side Up, because they know there definitely is a capability for them to win out this set here. So they have to try hard, but it's going to be a real tall order because, again, Crazy Lagoon, they are still not to be trifled with. So there we go. Maple is going to be playing the Frank. That's going to do quite a number there on the Cibatante. He's down to 1,000, but no, Maple is the one going to get picked off there with the ball getting bursted down. Winning now, trying to fight for his life, but no, Cibatante and Miria completely surround him and take out Sunny Side Up. Completely wiped off from the map here. They're just now only respawning. They haven't been able to pick up much vaults here, so level 3 Siege Bot will go to the side of Crazy Lagoon. Now all of Sunny Side Up are spawned up. They're trying to hold positions here while they wait for the Siege Bot to come in. Thing is, Dreadlord very, very low. He's going to try to tag in front, but he's going to get picked off. No, Simultaneously he's going to go in front. He's going to try to go straight for the base, but Winnie's going to be the last one to try to stand in the way of the Siege Bot. Siege Bot down to 1,000. He's going to get popped off, but he does get a couple of punches in. So Sunny Side Up is down to 81 percentage points on their base. So now Smatante and Myriad Kuru is still holding a very poor position here. Dreadlord goes in front. He's trying to spam, but no, he gets popped off there immediately by the Kuru. So now Myriad gets knocked down to Winnie, tries to keep him contained, tries to keep him on the side. Smatante didn't even need to react there at all. Myriad had that under control.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be all game over. Here comes the level 8 Siege Bot now. Kuru as well as Hipotamte should be able to take down Wine. He is in a 2-on-1 situation as Dreadlord gets snuffed out. Here comes that level 8 Siege Bot that we're talking about. Maple as well as Wayne should be able to hold the Siege Bot back. 20,000 on that HP. Siege Bot gets pushed back. And this is Sunny Side Up still heading on for dear life. One away to stand up. And 24 more seconds. Another Siege Bot will be walking right through, but thankfully not as strong as the previous one. Right now dropping Miria. Maple try to stay on alive, but here's the problem though. Sunny Side Up, they've just been playing defensive so far. Can they make a comeback in here? They are picking up those bolts, and that means the next Siege Bot in about 4 seconds belongs to them. It's going to be a level 7-1, which is the firepower that they will be needing.
The thing is that the wall is still up, I think, for Crazy Lagoon. Yeah, so the bot is going to have to go the long way around. So this could just give Crazy Lagoon a little bit of chance here as the timer is starting to come to a close. But look at that, they're just going straight for the base here. But Simultaneously goes in front. Maple clears out the base in time. Now they're doing a lot of damage here. It looks like this might be enough. Sunny Side Up, they might have just done it here as the Siege Bot gets taken down. 22 percentage points is all it took here for Sunny Side Up to take the win against Crazy Lagoon.
What a fight back. And Sunny's... Come on, Sunny Side Up. Okay, no, here's the thing, right? And this is not the first time you're seeing this, Victor. It's the second time around, and this time it is in the group stages. Sunny Side Up, they love to have their, their last-minute comeback, right? But, let's not leave it for those sort of dramatic changes in here at the group stages. Are we going to be able to see them go in for that 5-game push now that they've been able to pick up this victory on Factory? Being able to get Siege was not one that I thought they'll be able to pull off of Crazy Lagoon, especially with how aggressive Crazy Lagoon was taking game number 1. But what a beautiful victory by Sunny Side Up. The Indonesians are finally stepping it up, Victor.
Yeah, I mean, they actually made it to set number 4, so kudos to them. It's certainly one thing I really was hoping for these boys because, again, like I said, yesterday wasn't the best day for them. So it looks like today, well, it hasn't been a great start, but starting to pick it up now from set 3. So hopefully set 4 will turn out a lot better here for Sunny Side Up.
Yeah, absolutely. And how can they make their comeback in here? It's all going to depend on how they manage 2 different zones because we're going to be dropping into Split, right? And we've seen Split work out in here before already. Usually with those hot zones, if you've got one zone, then, it's just a little bit more heated. So much more of fights going on in there. But 2 hot zones kind of complicates it in its own manner as well, right? Who are you going to send for those hot zones? Is it going to be a 2-1 split? Is it going to be a 1-1 split with one player just dropping into those bushes, waiting to find an opportunity to get the backstab on the opposition? It's going to be really interesting how these 2 teams take this fight, Victor.
Yeah, and given that Split's main feature is literally it's also its biggest obstacle, the big wall that separates the 2 hot zones, it's really one that the players all have to play around, and that severely limits some of the compositions they can go for. But certainly some of the mainstays that we've been seeing in hot zones like the Franks or the Brocks, those are still going to be very viable here. I think more likely we're going to be seeing a lot more of 2-1s versus having like a 1-1 and a one person to jump between. Simply because like the wall in split, unless you can immediately take care of that very early on, makes it very hard for you to maneuver between both hot zones. So yeah, it's going to be very dependent on your ability as an individual brawler to be able to survive a lot of fights. And I think given that we've already seen that both Sunnyside Up and Crazy Lagoon have very capable Frank players on their side, so I'm expecting to see Frank to become a very important pick here for both of these teams.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, Frank being an important pick for both sides, which means I'm more curious to see who's going to be, pairing that Frank up together with a Poco, right? Because imagine this, Frank's already dropping in there with so much of HP, and then each and every single time he needs a little bit of support, Poco just drops in there with that assist. They buff their HPs back up, and Frank's going to be an indestructible monster at that hot zone. But, many of these matches, we've seen mirror picks from both of those sides. So this is a combo that can be pulled off by either side. And there you go. As we can see, Frank's definitely in there. Cipotante going in with a 2-on-1. Dreadlord still getting that hit. Eliminates him. But the points will not be falling to the side of Sunnyside Up just yet for the zone on the right. Miria will be standing tall on that victor.
Yeah, Maple right now, gets ganked upon there by Cipotante, so his own progress on the hot zone has just been cut short as well. Now Dreadlord is going to try to do his best to get out his counterpart there, Miria. Cipotante tries to go in front, he's going to get a little bit of attention there from Winnie. Winnie tries to go for another knockback, finally gets a kill onto the bull, but the thing is, Kuru does get the kill onto Maple at the same time, so Sunnyside Up didn't really make much ground here on the left-hand hot zone. In the meantime, though, Miria just finished completely the hot zone here, so Dreadlord finally is able to get the captures. Winnie and Maple now trying to go for the gang onto Cipotante, not even getting kills yet, and unfortunately, already losing one, and Winnie, they just lost another.
Oh, Miria, Kuru, as well as Cipotante should be able to bring this game to a close, and they do exactly that. Sorting out the zone on the right-hand side first, and then dropping in for the 3-player capture onto the zone on the left. That's just been perfection, Victor, from both the teams. But of course, Crazy Lagoon once again outshining the Indonesian side.
Yeah, again, unfortunate, especially given the slight ray of hope we saw from set number 3. But then again, I mean, it is very much a very strong team that we have here in Crazy Lagoon. I cannot stress that enough. Just from the way they're able to play the meta, to the mechanical skills they've shown in the bounty round, and then now, again, just absolutely dominating in this hot zone matchup here. It's looking like Crazy Lagoon still one of the stronger teams now in this challengers, and even this matchup as well. Sunnyside Up still having a lot of trouble just keeping up with them.
Yeah, but, they've already been able to show us that, if a comeback is possible one time in one of the game modes that really I did not expect them to pick up because of how aggressive Crazy Lagoon is, if they were able to get that done, no excuses as to why they shouldn't be able to pull this off, right? It's all about the composition. Bringing that Frank in was already good. They were able to keep the percentages of those zone captures close, at least at the start of the game. But they just got outplayed right on towards the zone on the right, because they just had that one Frank in there to get all of the dirty work done, and it just wasn't enough. So maybe it will be a change this time around for a couple of range champs, maybe, to get all of the damage done onto Frank first, eliminate him, and then step into the fray. Let's see if or not a possibility of that play will be available for Sunnyside Up. And we seem to have lost Victor once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We do apologize for the technical difficulty. It is definitely a challenge trying to overcome as we try to execute this competition from our homes due to the current situation. But we have Victor right back online.
Yeah. I know, and now it's my turn to drop out this time, so apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen, but we will be going in-game yet again here. Sunnyside up, having one more chance here. Can they make it the turnaround on this set? So Maple attempts to stay on his own, but no, Kuro picks him off immediately. Now he's going to try to take the center spot there. Winnie gets picked up as well. This Ems is literally dominating this hot zone at the moment as Maple and Dreadlord just only returned into the battlefield. Now they're trying the best to try to keep Crazy Lagoon off of their hot zone. So they are getting the boots on the ground. Dreadlord gets popped first though. Kuro again having a special up. Winnie gets popped again. Kuro is still alive, still kicking. How is this still possible?
And this is the kind of strategy that, was in question earlier on. Are we going to see Crazy Lagoon go in here for a 2-1 split, or is one player going to be dropping back and providing that support, on both of these zones? And Kuru just looks like that freaking VP. Dreadlord right now pushing up a very, very dangerous game, and he gets snuffed out by Kuru. Kuru's a freaking MVP as far as I'm concerned, Victor.
MVP indeed. This M's player is literally killing him, but no, Dreadlord now trying to beat the pressure on, but no, Kuro again still reigns supreme on his left-hand side. Look at the cheek of this fella here. He knows he's literally won this game here with Crazy Lagoon because Sunnyside up is having so much trouble even just keeping up. The match is over. I think Crazy Lagoon pretty much had this one in the bag.
Oh, absolutely, man. What an aggression taken up. They drop in there with the ability to provide support in the form of Kuru. And Kuru just did absolutely what it took. Recovering his HP just a little bit. Not to, be able to stand for long, right? But to be able to take a couple of extra hits and then jumps right back into the fray. Crazy, crazy mechanical abilities to be able to avoid some of those shots that were being dropped in by the side of Sunnyside Up as well. Unbelievable play towards the very end from Crazy Lagoon to pick up this 3-1 victory here, Victor.
Incredible. I mean, this is a team again that we knew was going to be strong, but just how strong is still surprises me even now. So well done again to Crazy Lagoon. They have absolutely dominated it this time. For Sunnyside Up, again, I was rooting for you guys, so it kind of feels bad that didn't quite work out for you guys, but nevertheless, I still have hope for you guys, because you do show that it's still possible to have won some of those rounds against Crazy Lagoon. It's just that Crazy Lagoon is just so much more adaptable, so much more stronger as an opponent. So nevertheless, we're going to be seeing the highlights here, and hopefully we'll be able to recap a little bit about some of the action that's just passed.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Crazy, crazy day in here. We're just at series number 2. And Crazy Lagoon has been able to redeem themselves after yesterday's performance. They weren't able to take, 2 games. They were defeated 3-1 sets. But of course, as they drop back in here today, it was a totally different story. They get that 3-1 victory instead.
Yeah, gems all scattered on the ground there. This is really what set things off here. Control in these
puncturing.
Funny enough, but I mean, again, really good matchup there. Congratulations to Crazy Lagoon. Better luck next time for Sunnyside Up, but still rooting for you boys, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do allow Victor, Gax, and I to take a quick short break. When we come back, it's going to be series number 3.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator, let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Hey, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up?
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Hey, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
Ayo, laddies and gents, boys and girls of all ages, welcome back to the ESL Mobile Challenge, where I, Victor Cax, and AJ the Mustachio will be bringing to you guys some more Brawl Stars action. So, before the break, we had witnessed two matchups. First one being between Jupiter and Waffle Monsters. Jupiter won that with a resounding 3-0. Then after that, we watched Sunnyside Up face off against Crazy Lagoon, and it was quite a matchup there. Sunnyside Up managed to take one against Crazy Lagoon, but ultimately the Japanese squad beat them 3-1. So as we're coming on to our next matchup here, Tropa Suprema and Team Flash. These two teams certainly are one that I've been really paying attention to throughout these challenges, because this matchup here might just cause some sparks to fly.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, yesterday, both of these teams, they took, they both took victories. But of course, Tropa Suprema not as clean as a Team Flash. So let's see if or not we will be able to see them pull it off this time round. It's going to be Aaron, Ryohei, Molneko, as well as Arotan, the substitute, dropping in here for the side of Tropa Suprema, representing Japan.
Yeah, very confident faces, very fierce looking faces here, especially on Ryohei. I hate to be on the other side of the screen there against him, that's for sure, but certainly they are one of the strongest teams here in this challenge series this season so far. So top picks for Tropa Suprema, Genie, Max, and Ems. So maybe they might just give Kuru a run for his money. Hopefully you might see that in the future. But then again, top bans of Stu and Bell certainly expected here of a top level team like Tropa Suprema. But again, just really want to see how they will face off against our Singaporean squad here. Team Flash coming up next.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, if anything, Team Flash looks like the most promising Singaporean team to be able to defeat all of the Japanese teams put together. Kubri's response site, as well as CZK, the substitute, going to be dropping in this time to represent Team Flash. CZK is not always on the bench. We've seen him drop in and, manage to pull off some of those crazy highlight moments for himself as well, Victor.
Oh yeah, indeed. And in the interview we had with ZZK, I just love the amount of confidence that Team Flash is showing coming to this mobile challenge, because certainly they are aiming their sights very, very high here. So definitely one of the favorites in this tournament. You can see their top picks here: Gene, Max, and Carl seems to be the favorites brawlers here for Team Flash. They seem to not like the Poco that much though, so that still remains one of their top bans alongside the Bell. So nevertheless, as we come into this matchup here, I really want to see whether or not Team Flash can really put their money where their mouth is.
Oh, absolutely, man. And, I feel like they will be able to pull a victory off. But I'm not talking about the whole series. I'm talking about one of these games at the very least, right? Because I'm expecting it to go back and forth between Tropa Suprema as well as Team Flash in here. Are we going to be able to, see for the very, very first time set number 5 being played? Like we said yesterday in anticipation of series number 3, if anything, these two teams will be able to bring us there, Victor.
Oh yeah, if anything, I'm seriously hoping for a close match here, because it will show that the Singaporean teams can still be a very formidable force here in this challengers, and Team Flash might just be the team to help prove that here. So here we go. This is going to be our first set. It's going to be a gem grab round here in Hot Zone. Let's see if that's going to work out well. So CZK going to be facing a bit of trouble here as really gets all the way in the back there just to get the coup de grace, coup d'ace.
Oh, beautiful. Ryohei now, Mole as well as Aaron is going to be able to hold quite a tight team in here. They've managed to pick up 3 of these gems already. Are we going to be able to see Ryohei get aggressive once again? Backs away in the nick of time, and Bull will be able to survive a little bit more. I love how he uses his Bull charge as a defensive maneuver just to survive a little bit longer, and also at the same time eliminating so much of the cover on that left-hand side. Now Kudi Ace, he is going to get taken down. Ryohei is making this approach onto that shot, but will not get over aggressive here, paying his opponents the respect they deserve, Victor.
What the heck? Sight just back-to-back just got 2 very impactful kills. That flank has worked out so well. Now Ryohei is trying to pick up the pieces here, but gets popped away at the gem spawner for his efforts there. So far, Team Flash really playing the cards very right. Now Aaron trying to force a chase here onto the ends. He's going to get blasted down here by CZK inside. Ryohei tries to get in on the action, but Coup de Grace lets out his super and forces the Bull to go back to base. Bull able to pick up 5 gems so far. That's at least keeping them so far at par with Team Flash, but only 1 more gem left to be picked up from them. Team Flash waiting on the spawner here to get the pickup, but Team Tropa Suprema are still trying to force them off of that zone here. Ryohei almost bites the dust there, but still able to keep in this game. Now the healing turret is going to be almost done here. Aaron's going to get popped off. Coup de Grace is going to have Coup is going to have to pop out his super here to stay alive. He does have 5 gems after all, but Team Flash still nowhere near able to get the last gem. No! Finally the M's get popped off inside. Fortunately, it's able to stay in place there to pick up the gems again for Team Flash, but it's still at a stalemate. Only 1 gem is required from either side here to start the countdown. Tropa Suprema who unleashes that first rally here, so now Coup de Grace, Coup de Ace is going to try his best here, but no, he gets popped away there by Aaron. CZK now is able to get the trade off, but Ryohei and Bull are still holding the gems in their hands. Now the red team will pick up the gem that's required for the countdown, so now it's going to be a pressure with Tropa Suprema. Ryohei jumps in front, gets pushed back. He's not going to be able to get in time though. Now Coup de Ace goes in front, gets killed to Aaron. Bull's the last person left standing there. He might just be popped off. He does get popped off. 22 gems on the side of Team Flash, and that is the end.
What a game! What a play! Team Flash taking such a commanding victory against Tropa Suprema. And, this is where it all fell down the drain as far as, Tropa Suprema was concerned, right? Tropa Suprema, they tried to play this by allowing just one player to hold on to all of those gems, right? And then turned out to be the worst decision ever, right? And you look at Team Flash, look at the Singaporeans, they've got it spread out all between them. And yes, players from the Singaporean side did fall. And whenever they did fall, they did not give such a huge advantage to the Japan, the Japanese side. But Tropa Suprema, they weren't playing the exact same game. They piled it all onto one player. That player gets popped, and bye the Singaporeans said, as they take such a commanding 22 gem victory in game number 1.
Yeah, well, I'm really, really, really loving this right now because Team Flash is just taken such a dominant first round here. So Tropa Suprema is now going to have to come back with a really, really strong reply here because Team Flash now, it's just fired off what I have to say is probably one of the biggest shots right now against one of the Japanese teams here. So if they really want to keep themselves up there as one of the strongest teams here, they're going to have to really bring Team Flash down in this next round.
Easier said than done, isn't it? The Singaporeans are kind of, a little too tactical, right? And I love to see exactly how Team Flash plays out there on these maps. They take such a very interesting approach to some of these games, and how they respond in that split second to some of these challenges that are thrown towards their side is the highlight that we want to focus in on, right? And are we going to be able to see Tropa Suprema spread out the gems between themselves this time around, just to keep it a little bit more safer? Because Team Flash, if they want to pull and execute over one of your plays, it's not going to be so difficult, right? So I'm looking forward to seeing a couple of assassins maybe dropping in for the side of Team Flash, because they know that Tropa Suprema wants to kind of hound all of these gems onto one player. So really curious to see exactly how the next game's draft's gonna go, Victor.
Yeah, I'm also curious to see whether or not Tropa Suprema is going to try to react to the way the Gale's been playing in this game. Because the Gale flank, that one flank there, really costed them a whole bunch there. It really caught them, one, by surprise. It lost them a lot of gems, number two. And it also didn't give them a lot of initiative over the gem spawner. So let's see how it's going to turn out. Side is still going to be playing the Gale again, but this time it's going to be taking the left-hand flank. Kuti Ace is going to be taking it right this time, and Aaron is going to try his best to keep the M's under control. But Kuti Ace goes in front. He will get the kill onto Ryohei though, so now Mole's going to try to go for the counter-attack, but Kuti Ace still alive despite the fact he was literally in front of Mole there. So now Aaron tries to go for the counter-attack. He's going to get popped.
Oh, not only does he stay alive, he goes right round and goes for a kill on the other side as well. Tropa Suprema, on the other hand, able to pick up 7 gems now, outclassing the side of Team Flash. Now, once again, Mole's playing this risky gameplay. Victor, he's picking up all of these gems, albeit there's 8 on his side right now. 9 to bring it up. Team Flash might be able to get that jump on him at the very last moment. He brings in the 10th one, and now Team Flash needs to go in for the attack, Victor.
The other thing is, Ryohei and Aaron are both in front. They have no gems, so they have nothing to lose at all. Look at that. Aaron just clearing out this entire area in front of the gem spawner. Sees that K tries going in front. Isn't able to do much. They are able to kill off Aaron, but it's not enough. Tropa Suprema will still win out this round. Wow. That's lovely. That is lovely. Like I said, Tropa Suprema has to come up with a good reply here against Team Flash, and they have absolutely delivered here in the second round.
I do not know what was needed in that match out of Team Flash, because I believe they gave it their all, right? They were doing all of the right things, but just unfortunately, it wasn't enough against Tropa Suprema, just slightly more supreme with their gameplay, and they've managed to pull this down into an equal 1-1. The winner of the next match will be able to take it for themselves. Both sides showing exactly why we were excited for the series number 3 from yesterday's closing, Vector.
Yeah, and I just really got to give a shout out to Aaron in that round. He was playing the Frank, and he got several double knockups during that round there, so which is quite impressive to do. Again, Frank, he has to wind up before he lands a super, so to be able to get double knockups with that, very impressive there from Aaron.
Yeah, anticipation, and that's just perfection, right, coming in from Aaron. And whether or not we are going to be able to see Tropa Suprema drop in more of those frank shots later on, left to be seen. And let's see exactly how they will play, their picks in here. Are they going to go in for the exact same sort of a rotation? Are they going to be able to mix it up? Because both sides showing a very, very impressive front to take 1 point aside.
Yeah, they are certainly. I mean, Team Flash again. They came into this very confident, very well prepared. So, I have no doubt that they could even just change things up again for this third round. Yeah, I really can't wait to see how this is going to turn out. But we might just have a really tight series here, ladies and gentlemen.
Whether or not Team Flash will allow that to happen, whether or not Tropa Suprema wants to see to that, it's all left to be seen, because we have seen some really strong starts, and then those teams really breaking down and clamping up towards the mid segment of these matches, and then all of a sudden it's a 3-0 upset, right? That those bright flashy moments seem to just hit that one time. But thankfully, Tropa Suprema as well as Team Flash, they are very much impressive in their own accord, and they will not be looking to go, get taken down so easily, right? So I'm not so sure what the delay on this third matchup is, but they are riling all of us up as they make us wait, aren't they?
Well, got us all riled up, because just as we mentioned it, now we're going into our third round here. Still the first set, ladies and gentlemen, so still a long way to go, but Tropa Suprema now really wants to try to kick this one. They have brought out the 8-bit here in order to do so, though. That's going to be interesting. So it's still going to be a Frank being played here on Team Flash. He's going to get knocked back, unfortunately, as CZK tries to go for a flank here. As a bully, he's going to get focused upon here, thanks to Mole now setting down his super. So Kuti Ace tries to go for a few gems with the spawner. It's going to take a lot of damage as a result. Ryohei gets the kill onto Frank. This is going to be a very good round here with Tropa Suprema if they can keep this up.
Yeah, absolutely, man. This Colette's gonna be such a pain to deal with, and the 8-bit and the reach is gonna be able to make sure nobody manages to get close enough for the attack, and Maul's gonna be able to pick up gem number 7 so easily. Tropa Suprema is able to hold on such a perfect lead here, and now Mo needs to back away. Ryohei, and it will be an absolute beauty as this 8-bit will just drop right back in to pick those gems up like nothing's going on in this match, Victor.
Oh, that last charge with CZK should not have happened, though. And then let's concede another one again. Now it's going to be a final attempt here to jump onto Tropa Suprema. Side now, try to go for one last attempt to jump on. Doesn't quite land a hit, though, as Ryohei is able to dodge out just in time. Tropa Suprema wins out this third round here, and thus they win this first set.
Wow, right? That combo between the Colette as well as 8-bit was just absolute perfection. 8-bit able to... he made it look so easy, Victor. Just...
right.
He danced right in, picked those gems up, walked right out without getting taken down time and time again. And it was all time to perfection as well, right? Looking and depending on his team members to go in for those takedowns. But that 8-bit wasn't really, handicapped himself. He was so aggressive in that matchup. And it just looks like Team Flash now needs to bring out the aggression within themselves, or Tropa Suprema is looking to sweep this all the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's two amazing, back-to-back adaptations that Tropa Suprema has done here against Team Flash. So, yeah, I think now Team Flash is going to have to pull everything out of the toolbox here if they want to have a good series here against Tropa Suprema.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say now the battle's on. Now, Team Flash is definitely been raring for an opportunity like this, and now this is going to be their chance to really put the fight now against Tropa Suprema.
Yeah, the Singaporeans are lucky, I guess, in the fact whereby, they were able to take game number 1. Unlucky with the fact that, Tropa Suprema had the response 2-time back round. Now, lucky, the reason why they are so is because that's it. That's it for set number 1. We have to move on to a totally different match now, and it's gonna be Shooting Star, right, where they play this off at Bounty. In terms of the pace of the match, just as aggressive. It doesn't really change much, but if anything, it is going to be putting a huge marker on the head of, at least the player that picks up that blue star first. And I expect it to be Tropa Suprema with the way they're taking all of these aggressive gameplays here, Victor.
Well, the thing is, I wouldn't count out Flash either, because it seems like they're at least prepared to go with that level of aggression, given that they have run the bull in the last set. So yeah, I'm again, the blue star will be important, I suppose, later on, but I think the most important thing for me, though, at least for these two teams coming to Shooting Star, is what kind of compositions they want to go with. So because if they do decide to commit to, like, let's say 2 sharpshooters and the other side decides to go heavyweights, we saw how that turned out for Sunnyside Up. So we don't want the same thing to happen here with Team Flash. So I don't know whether, I guess a safe bet will be to go for 1 heavyweight and 1 sharpshooter, but then again, your support is going to have a lot of ground to cover as well. So I don't know whether there's going to be any optimal choices here. I think it's really down to what Team Flash feels is most confident, what they're most confident in running against Tropa Suprema.
Yeah, even if you do drop 2 heavyweights in there, as long as you've got a great ranged player on your side to be able to provide the support, it should still be all right. But I absolutely agree with you, Victor. It's going to be, going down to those picks at the end here. I'm definitely interested to see if Piper is going to be brought in, because she's an absolute mad lady on this map. Brock, together with his incendiary star power as well, can sort of pressure those enemies to dodge his attack, right? And while dodging those attacks, they will have to fall way back. And, to pick those stars up isn't going to be much of an issue. And, the side that's going to be playing that is most probably, Tropa Suprema, with the way they've been able to take this aggressive gameplay. So let's see if or not they are up to it once again. Maul going to be dropping in on that 8-bit for those ranged attacks. Sight in here with the tick. Should be able to hold Aaron back as well.
It's kind of interesting that Tropa Suprema is going for something a little unconventional. They got a Crow in their lineup here, so I wonder what Aaron's plan is, though, because they're still running a tick on the Team Flash side, and that's still going to run the way tick usually runs Bounty, which is always charge up the super and let those super kills buff up Bounty stars. But now Ryohan seems to be trying to get a setup here. He does get a little bit of a trap there on the Kugi 8, so that's forcing him to back off now. So that opens up a bit of room here on the left-hand side, but it seems like Tropa Suprema just really focusing on denying a lot of ground here for Team Flash, making themselves quite cramped up onto their side of the spawn, and it seems to be working a little bit, but the thing is, not much stars are coming out from Tropa Suprema's side, so they still need to try to find a good setup here to get those kills.
Yeah, I can definitely see where Aaron's coming from with this Crow play, right? Let's see if or not he will be able to execute the player late game once they manage to pick up a couple of extra stars for themselves. For the time being, the Singaporeans are up in front with just that 1 star on their end. It's going to be the blue one. The tick for the side of Sight is going to be continuously keeping the side of Tropa Suprema back with all of the bombs that he is going in here for the toss. But Maul right now getting a little aggressive, going in here for the push. And this 8-bit might just be able to take CZK out of the equation and pull 2 stars for Tropa Suprema. But unfortunately will not lose his life. He manages to get out of there in the nick of time. And here is Team Flash on catch-up gameplay now, Victor.
Yeah, literally it's going to come down to this 1 star right now, but CZK is really trying to turn up the heat here against Maul, but Maul still alive. Oh, but no, Sight picks up the kill at the last second, and with the blue star still on Team Flash's end. This looks like Team Flash steals it from Tropa Suprema in this first round. Well done.
And, this is the patience gameplay that we are talking about that, we have seen Flash play in the past. Tropa Suprema playing such a crazy game, being able to aggress up front, but to be able to steal the strike at that very, very end, man, that was just perfection. And the Tropa Suprema is not going to be too happy with that at all.
I mean, they certainly would have been a bit surprised, but I think Turbo Supremo really was trying to play it very, very like razor close there, because again, literally a 1-star difference, and they were hoping to try to hold that out through the whole countdown. The thing was that Team Flash, like they CZK saw the opportunity, and he definitely was feeling maybe a little bit hurt from Maul just ganking him like that. So he was decided like, okay, this is high time for revenge. I'm coming for you this time around, and look at how it worked out well for Team Flash. I mean, just like that, they've already scored the first round here on this bounty round, and certainly putting Turbo Suprema now under a lot of pressure here.
Yeah, and once again, right, it was the patience gameplay allowing them to pick those stars up, increasing their bounty, and then going in for that snuff at that very last moment. In a way, somewhat the strategy that they tried to pull off at the gem grab as well, that didn't really work out in their favor. The side of, the Japanese side is just a little too good on the defense, right? They've just got 1 point man to run all of those gem grabs in game number 1. Here at Bounty, though, a little bit different, but somewhat the same sort of respect being paid by both sides, as they just don't take such an aggressive game up against each other. Neither side losing their lives very, very easily at the start of these rounds, only when they get a little desperate towards the very end, Victor.
Yeah, and because of that, I think it's quite likely that Team Flash will try to change out the composition. I mean, obviously, the PAM doesn't have the range to fight one-on-one against the 8-bit. You can see most of the time, Mo was just landing shots onto CZK and eventually forced CZK into a corner. So I think probably will try to go for a hero that has better range, that could at least compete against the 8-bit. But it's the turret from 8-bit that really made a lot of difference there, because he's so reactive on using his healing turret, his damage booster. So it means that he can if he senses that he's going to get in his position rushed upon, he will move out of the way, go somewhere else and set up his super there. So you see that kind of reactive play makes Maul a very, very difficult target for Team Flash to deal with. So I don't know, I think they will definitely have to try to change up their lineup a bit, maybe switch off from Pam to something else, but now at least they know that they can still go toe-to-toe against Tropa Suprema. It's really going to come down to how well they can execute their composition and their plays.
Yeah. Okay. Now we have not seen, the probable play of Bull dropping in here, because the way we've seen the side of Tropa Suprema take some of these attempts is a quick grab for the gem and then duck in for cover, right? What if you remove that cover? Is that going to be explored by the side of Team Flash? Let's take a look. As they will approach this, they will bring a 8-bit of their own to respond to Maul's pressure, and that's going to be perfect to keep Maul in the back lines here, away from that player. Are we going to be able to say CZK now get that revenge, though, as he wants, most probably with his competition?
I'm really interested to see what Ryohei is planning to do with that Stu, though, because it looks like they're banking on either Aaron or Maul doing enough damage to one of the members of Team Flash, and then for Ryohei to go in for the kill. But right now, with the healing turret already set up by side, he's going to use this position here to hopefully keep the ground here for Team Flash and to try to maintain the center line. But Tropa Suprema so far, Stu is really using most here of his super to make sure that they can't really get anywhere close to this zone. Now CZK almost get popped there. He's been able to get back just in the nick of time, but Tropa Suprema still are maintaining a lot of control over this map here, and is making Team Flash a little bit desperate right now to try to find an opening.
I wonder exactly why does Tropa Suprema, hold such a crazy line in here, but it is only because Team Flash is not bringing on the aggression. Finally, as I say, that CZK will step up front and they will move their turret, and they have already brought the fight, but unfortunately the pressure from Tropa Suprema will make them pull away yet again. But that's the kind of approach that I was expecting a little earlier on from the Singaporean.
Yeah, it's so hard, but they really are trying, but they can't find an opening at all. Aaron, Ryohei, and Mo just sticking so close together, making virtually impossible. They know like that, just like that. Size Casita, another kill here. ZZK dies as well. Tropa Suprema had 5 stars in hand, plus the blue star, so second round will go to them, and conversely, set number 2 as well.
Yeah, positioning of the turrets, and unfortunately with the early advantage that had been taken by Tropa Suprema, it was all up for the Singaporeans to, knock on their doors and ask those questions, right? And unfortunately, it was just a setup of that map that Team Flash was not able to aggress, because every single time they step into the vicinity of Tropa Suprema, they are going to get taken down. And I feel like this was just a gridlock gameplay. But, the access from that 8-bit could have come through a little bit earlier, and, maybe a distraction gameplay down the left as well might have been able to pull them into a better position slightly, in the earlier parts of that matchup. Maybe that could have turned things around, but let's see exactly how will the Singaporeans respond. They still do have an opportunity here.
Yeah, they still definitely have an opportunity. It's just that right now, in terms of meta and strategy, I think set number 2 definitely was a master class here from Tropa Suprema, and the reason why I say this is because even though Tropa Suprema is very good at aggression, this is a super defensive strategy they played here on Bounty.
Yes, correct. 1 kill and basically just death ball, rather keep close together, clump together, correct. Make sure that no one is able to break through defense, and that just made Team Flash's job so much more harder, because not only are they not being offered any openings there to even find a kill, but Tropa Suprema was just not giving any opportunities at all there for Team Flash to get any trades. So yeah, this is a very tough second set there. Hopefully this third set might turn things around. Okay, now let's see exactly how the positioning of Tropa Suprema will be here. Cootie Ace should be able to come in here for an early access. Aaron is all wide open. Maul able to pull side as well as ZZK back just a little bit. And once again, Tropa Suprema will be able to take that aggressive spot in the midsection and push the Singaporeans back. And it will be all up for Tropa Suprema now to go in for, once again, their defensive stance here, Victor.
Yeah, I got shocked there because Cootie Ace almost got popped there. Side is gonna get popped that time though by Aaron, and it looks like the race is on. Team Flash is way behind now in stars, so they have to pick it up. They have to try to break this defense here. Now Maul's turret is down, so that's going to give a little bit of an opening here for Team Flash to try to gain some ground. Cootie Ace is going to be up in front there, gets a slowdown to Ryohei, but the special coming in from Aaron will get cancelled out, unfortunately. So far, still a 3-star lead here for Tropa Suprema and a blue star in hand as well. So TS does have a good lead up on this round so far, and now Maul has his turret up again, so it looks like it's going to be back to the usual spots here for Tropa Suprema.
Yeah, it's going to be such a pain to take Aaron down. Cootie Ace unable to make an approach. Sight as well as ZZK being held back as well. Maul unable to do much as he will need to fall back, but just that is enough to hold the Singaporeans back. And now the final second aggression needs to come through. Is Cootie Ace gonna just make the play here? He goes in for a shot on Ryohei. Unfortunately, even that will fall through, and Team Flash is just not getting it done in this game. Cootie Ace gets taken down last minute there as well. Tropa Suprema have got this in the back. ZZK taking one last at that very last moment. Sight as well. And it is still a victory for Tropa Suprema, all thanks to Aaron that held on to that blue star for the Japanese side, Victor.
That's why the blue star is still so important in bounty rounds here, ladies and gentlemen. It is the literal tiebreaker, and one last shot there by Team Flash could have actually won the game if they had the blue star in hand, but sadly it was Aaron who had it, so Tropa Suprema wins out this set.
Yeah, it's just so crazy, right? Because Tropa Suprema knows that, Team Flash will be able to push it to such a close matchup. And therefore, it is just so crucial to get their hands on the Blue Star. Unfortunately, I just don't see the Singaporeans playing the Blue Star game as aggressively. They are keeping it for, the pullback later on, but that later on just does not drop through. And it's going to be yet another one that they give away to the Japanese side right now.
Yeah, and when both Stu and 8-Bit unleashed their their turrets at the same time, like that thing just made it so that Tropa Suprema was basically untouchable once both of those turrets were up. So not only would they had the advantage in damage, but they had much more mobility, and Team Flash, they were able to finally separate Team Tropa Suprema towards the end of that final round, but even at that point, it was still too little too late. If they had done that a lot more, just forced Tropa Suprema to have a much more spread out formation, that could have actually have given Team Flash a lot more opportunities to pick up bounties, but sadly, Tropa Suprema was much smarter than that. They kept clumped together a lot throughout the matchups, and that really, again, it just made it so difficult for Team Flash to even farm for those bounty stars.
Yeah, and Maul was just playing this so well, right? And once again, it's all because of the push so early on. Now that Tropa Suprema already has got the Blue Star in their hand, no matter what they have to try to do, they've already got the advantage in their hands already. And, constantly being able to drop into the defensive position, although they know they can get an aggressive pop on one of these players, puts them in a position that it just keeps them so comfortable, right? The Singaporeans have to come in and knock on their doors time and time again, but that was so difficult because each and every single approach is an opportunity for the Japanese players to take your players down yet again and get those stars. But that was exactly what kept happening again and again and again. And even towards the very last moment, I mean, playing such a safe game, yes, Team Flash was able to ensure they don't really lose so many of those stars early on. But keeping it for such a late gameplay as well proved to be, not the greatest of ideas, because even that late access dropped them those initial stars. But maybe if that aggressive approach had come in slightly earlier, Victor, it might have opened the game up a little differently. Seem to have lost Victor once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Aaron dropping in here a quick slay early on. Cootie Ace gonna get taken down by Ryohei, but unfortunately does not get that so early. Maul drops in for the assist. Side gets eliminated, and it will be Tropa Suprema with that one bolt in the bag at the moment, Victor.
Yeah, so the Siege Bot is going to be coming in from the TS side. It's going to get acted upon now from the Ems and the Gale. That's already putting him down quite a bit. He managed to get a couple punches, I think, but that 10 percentage point. Aaron tries to go up in front, but it's going to take a lot of damage for the result. And the CZK side sees this opportunity. They take down the Frank, but conversely, Cootie Ace down to 42 health, but still able to stay alive there thanks to the safety of his own home base. Now, CZK does get a kill onto Gale. Now, Ryohei is trying to keep position, but the bolts are still coming in true for Tropa Suprema because they have a 2-bolt lead at the moment and they seem to be holding steady, but Team Flash has picked up a couple of themselves. Now a bit of a tussle going on both sides here. Cootie Ace able to hold out his own. That's going to be a Siege Bot now coming out from the Team Flash side. So let's see how Tropa Suprema is able to hold up this offense.
Yeah, it's an amazing play coming in here from the Singaporeans at the very last moment, able to turn things around and pull in the level 5 Siege Bot for themselves. Now Maul gonna be dropping back very far. Beautiful sweep back in here just to buy themselves a little bit more time. Aaron's in here already, but unfortunately the damage will still be dished out onto Tropa Suprema's save. But 93% still left.
Suprema still wins. Last second, the Syrup was used there. That kept damage done, so Tropas by default, just because they were 3 percentage points in health ahead of Team Flash.
Yeah, And it's the damage that was done onto Team Flash's safe that I'm talking about, right? That was the very first siege bot that was sent up by the side of Tropa Suprema. And all of the damage onto the safe was done when the siege bot was being dealt with on the side of Tropa Suprema, which means that Team Flash had already sent that siege bot down. Whilst they were dealing with the siege bot down at the bottom, Tropa Suprema was taking that opportunity to damage that safe up top. And that's exactly what won them that game, and in such a crazy way, right? And Team Flash, they didn't even have to, lose it in a way that was so straightforward due to the brilliance of Tropa Suprema, being able to take it even without that siege bot doing much of the damage. A default win by that sneak attack was a little bit more than enough, Victor.
Yeah, more than enough, and certainly might be a frustrating thing for Team Flash though, because again, 3 percentage points. It's just so incredibly close. Like literally one extra hit on Tropa Suprema's base would have already done it for them. So. Yeah. Well, in any case, at least they know that this is going to be a much closer set compared to the last two. So let's see whether or not they will try to go for some change-ups in their lineups here. I think so far it's looking okay. It's just that maybe they have to scatter their fights a lot. I tend to see a lot more 1 versus 1s or 2 versus 1s in this set compared to the others. Yeah. But I think safe to say, like, both of these teams are still very, very much on high energy, on high focus. So we're still going to be in for a very, very tight series here, gentlemen.
Let's see if or not this will be closed out with a 3-0 victory, or the Singaporeans can force the issue, push this into a tiebreaker match and pull this into set number 4. Tropa Suprema picking up bolt number 1. CZK holding off long against Aaron here. Spike, on the other hand, is quite low on that HP. Will be dropping in to gank Aaron real quick, but this Frank is a little bit too smart. Quite surprising with the way they weren't able to take a much more aggressive approach. But now CZK forcing the issue, eliminating Aaron finally.
Finally, and Arrow was literally trying to get up in the face of the pool the whole time, but that time though, he had to pay for it with his life. So now that Flash had a bit of breathing room, they still weren't able to get enough bolts though. They're still about 2 bolts behind Tropa Suprema. Finally got 1 bolt in. They just need 1 more to tie it up. Maybe 20 seconds. Well, they could just do it if Sai can get in position. He gets an extra bolt though for his efforts, but Tropa Suprema in the meantime, it's also been picking up and been pretty busy on their end. So still a 1 bolt difference. 5 more seconds to go. Can they find that last one though? Ryohei has one in hand. He's gonna send it back. It's gonna be a level 10 siege bot coming out with Tropa Suprema. CZK gets a kill onto the Gale of Bowl. So now as the siege bot makes its way towards the base, Kuda Ace is staying up in front, CZK as well. The health is relatively low though, so cannot really tank too much, but at least they're able to get damage done. The siege bot is gonna get taken down even before it's able to land a single punch.
Exactly how teams have elbows this off. They've been able to take the siege bot out already, and if they are able now to eliminate Tropa Suprema and then break that wall down as well, maybe when they bring in their siege bot in about 15 seconds, it's gonna be the one that ends the game. Aaron, so close to getting taken down, but this Frank is just so tanky, Victor.
Yeah, he is really tanky. He is picking up 1 last ball, and that might be enough to make the difference here because Tropa Suprema is 2 balls ahead, and indeed, they will get that level 10 siege bot on the way. So Kuda Ace and Scythe now trying to hold that last line of defense as CZK moves up from the right-hand side. It's going to get slowed down by Ryohei though. He may not be able to get position in time as the bot is already up against it. 39 percentage points has been punching onto the base. It's getting really bad here. But Team Flash, I don't think it's going to work out well. It's so much good. Look at Tropa Suprema. Oh, what? That's just rude. That's just rude there, man.
Yeah, Tropa Suprema, well played, man. Absolutely well played. They took such aggressive rounds, composition of perfection, that Frank was such a tank. He just refused to fall, and maybe what could arguably be the best team from Singapore here, Team Flash, has fallen to the Japanese side. Tropa Suprema, astounding 3-0 victory. They pull over the Singaporean side.
Yeah, and it was by no means an easy fought one, but still, it still surprises me though that Tropa Suprema was able to clean out that round just now because as I was expecting Team Flash to at least make this a 3-1, even at worst. But this just goes to show like just how on another level some of these Japanese teams are. I mean, Tropa Suprema, the adaptations, the level of game knowledge as well, for them to know that the 8-bit is a much better matchup against a PAM. Won them the bounty round pretty much. So yeah, I think this just goes to show that the Japanese teams are slowly starting to become some of the right now. I think they're still very, very strong, and at this point Singaporean teams are starting to really need to step it up. But then again, Team Flash, they really went down fighting. Like you could see just the way that they would try to take some of these rounds. Still was on a razor edge most of the time, but just that tiny bit of difference sometimes is all it takes with Tropa Suprema at times that I just feel it can be a bit frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's take a quick look at the highlights here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and see exactly how the Singaporeans fell to such a well-taken victory by the Japanese side. Tropa Suprema with the absolute annihilation, man. I mean, look at who he aced there as he went in, dropping all of those players. And this was the part where, Team Flash just made themselves look so good in the series. But the comeback from the Japanese, though, a little bit too strong, Victor.
Yeah, like immediately they switched off the heavyweights and they tried to go for something a lot more stronger, and it really worked out because the next 2 rounds subsequently was all Tropa Suprema, and Flash really were just left like with their mouths agape. It's like, whoa, this is very, very much unexpected here. But again, very, very, very good here from the Japanese team because they knew exactly what to do, what they had to change up in order to win some of these sets.
Yeah, and this was the time where we saw the defensive games being played by the side of Tropa Suprema to perfection, right? They just could not reach the wall. They played this, and Ryohei, the way he dodged some of these shots that were coming through from the side of Team Flash, I know it was just absolutely annoying those players, right? They just could not get their hits in. And Tropa Suprema, on the other hand, they were nailing each and every single one of their shots. Look at Ryohei, just going in for the chase on side up top as well, right? At last sight, able to, turn around and change the turner of that particular fight. But, the pressure was just more than enough to keep them away.
Yeah, and like I said, this was like kind of was towards the end of that first round there, and like I said, 3 percentage points. And I don't think it was really a backdoor. It really was literally all the damage they managed to do that round. But and this was, I think, probably the most funniest thing I saw here. This team, Tropa Suprema, just sending a little bit of a disagreement there to how that round ended there. So a bit of cheekiness, but then again, Tropa Suprema still have every right to be just as confident as they did the first time they entered this, because they're still one of the strongest teams here and they still have yet to be beaten in this round robin so far.
Yeah, and that's just so impressive, right? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's take a quick short break. When we come back, the final series of the day.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the wait's up. That's how we know when we level up. Hey, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the wait's up. That's how we know when we level up. Hey, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up. Level up.
All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
Still lagging.
Hey yo, welcome back laddies and gents and boys and girls of all ages. We're here at the ESL Mobile Challenge where we've just witnessed 3 matchups here. Of course, me, Victor Cax, and he, AJ, have been bringing you guys all these matchups here tonight. And I still have one last question on my mind. Will we ever see that mythical set number 5? Because I was hoping that last matchup will bring us that set 5, but it seems like Turbo Suprema still that much stronger than expected.
Yeah, I know, right? Because that was the highest probability of a match number 5. Byro and Last Wolf. We're not taking anything away from Last Wolf, but based on their performance yesterday, it's going to be quite a tough uphill battle, try to take a W away from a very, very strong Singaporean side in the form of Byro in here, right? But Team Flash, the fact that they lost that 3-0 flat out game after game after game after game not only shocks me, but shows me exactly how dangerous the Japanese side are in this competition. Tropa Suprema really, really looking like they might just be the strongest in here.
Yeah, and I wonder whether that's a part of like experience playing its part or just game knowledge that is just so much better on the Tropa Suprema side. But safe to say, I think for a lot of Singaporean squads, they certainly have been like paying attention all throughout, and certainly I think they're going to be going back to their books here and starting to really analyze very carefully about what these Japanese teams are doing and what exactly are the secrets to their success. But by my estimation, just the fact that these Japanese players are having so much more knowledge in terms of the games as well as the way to counteract the metas just tells me that they're basically much better like in an all-rounded sense. So certainly that's the kind of challenge that all the other teams in this challengers are going to have to face, but certainly that's why these kind of competitions exist. You want to give these kind of interactions between these different teams just to show how vastly different these regions can be, and certainly these regions will learn a lot after all these matchups are said and done.
Yeah, absolutely, Victor. Couldn't have said it better myself, man. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on the brink of our very final series of the day. Byro representing Singapore, Last Wolf, the Indonesians dropping in here to show you guys a good set. Are we going to be able to see, Last Wolf rise from the ashes here to pull a couple of games away from Byro? Even better, maybe just steal this whole series away, after taking 2 great sets. Why not, right? Yesterday, they were given a absolute perfect opportunity to come through and shine. Unfortunately, Team Flash was the one that took them on yesterday. And quite honestly, Team Flash annihilated Last Wolf, right? So let's see if or not Aaron, Vex, as well as CG will be able to do the exact same as what Team Flash managed to execute yesterday, Victor.
Well, given the fact that they're also Singaporean, certainly will have that possibility there. But then again, Byro, they're certainly a different animal when you compare them to Team Flash, because they can still have the smarts as well as aggression coming out on their end. So let's see whether or not this Singaporean squad can continue to impress us here, I should say, in this ESL Mobile Challenge. So nevertheless, let's have a look at their picks, top picks and bans. Still very, very typical here, I would say, of the teams here in the Challenge Series. They love that Max, they love the Carl, and Byro loves the Genie as well. Certainly didn't have a lot of love for Stu and Bell though, as those are their top bans.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's take a look at, of course, Team Last Wolf in here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The Indonesians will be bringing in a lineup of Reka, Emka, R Bigwell, as well as Farhan, who have most definitely astounded all of us with their tremendous gameplays as well as victories as they were climbing up the ladder in the ESL Mobile Open. You know, most of the weeks as we were doing those recap shows, you saw exactly how many times Reka, Emka, as well as R Bigwell continuously stole that spotlight. Unfortunately for them, this time around in the competition, they're just not shining as brightly as they were at the qualifiers.
And that's not to discredit the Last Wolf at all, because bear in mind, these guys qualified their way into challengers here, so they're no slouches actually. You know, they're still just as capable, if not more capable, than the vast majority of teams that took part in the Opens. It just so happens that the other teams here in the challengers are just that much stronger. So Last Wolf certainly has a lot of ground to make up here, but hopefully, you know, as the playoffs progress here, as they go through more matchups, hopefully we'll start to see a much more marked improvement in their performance. So certainly hoping a lot from these three boys here from Last Wolf, because they are certainly holding up the hopes here for their fellow countrymen in Indonesia. Having a look at their top picks and bans here, again, quite different when you compare them to other teams, but certainly speaks to the uniqueness that Last Wolf brings to the table. So they love the Tara, they love the Sprout, and they certainly love the Ms, as Rebecca M has actually shown us in some of their previous matches. And particularly, they really don't like the Max here, so they banned out this brawler quite a lot, alongside the Amber, who I can see why they wouldn't like the Amber so much. She can be very annoying given the level of spread that she has on her main attack. So certainly Last Wolf here, this could be a good chance for them to try to make up some lost ground here in day number 2.
Yeah, man. And, you know, with the play that Reka Emka as well as R Bigwell is usually able to drop in here, the plays are not gonna be so easily read by the side of Byro, or at least that's what I want to think in my heart, right? Because Last Wolf has seen quite a bit of disappointment yesterday already, and they would have been able to take that as a very good, you know, slap on the wrist as they come back in here a little bit stronger for day 2. But since Byro is, you know, coming into the series with just so much of firepower as well as the momentum from their victory yesterday, it's just gonna put, you know, Last Wolf in a more difficult position to secure victory for themselves.
Well, the way I look at it though is that for Last Wolf, you know, any sort of like improvement they can make in this matchup compared to the last is going to go a long way. And what I mean by this is that, you know, in terms of like how much needs to be done for their end, for Last Wolf, literally, because they have lost their matchup, they're starting at the bottom of the groups. So literally any sort of wins they can pull out in this matchup is going to instantly lift them up. So certainly, when I look at it that way, I think this should give a big confidence boost for them, because they know that all they have to do literally is just like win out some of these early sets here, and hopefully drag this out so that Byro will be left fatigued by the time they finished it. But then again, like we always like to say, it's easier said than done. So I think for Last Wolf, certainly, I think they can still afford to have a lot of confidence coming into this, but certainly those opening sets here will definitely set the tone, or at least set the momentum for them if they really want to make this a win for them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We've not really seen Last Wolf take much of these aggressive plays just yet, but of course it's very much early in the competition. We're just in day 2 of our group stages. We still have got 5 more days up ahead of us. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's going to be a single round robin. Each and every single one of these series are going to have 5 sets. Within those 5 sets, we have got best out of 3s for each and every single one of these game modes, and it will be on rotation every time we drop back in. Those maps will be rotated. The game modes that will be played will be rotated in terms of exactly which matches are played first, which game modes are played first. Like yesterday the gem grab was placed in match number 5. Today it was the very first one. So it's such a huge change in pace as to how the day generally kicks off for some of these series right now.
And that's what the teams have to be ready for. They cannot expect the same kind of battlefields day in and day out. Here in the mobile challenge, we're trying to really put the challenge into these teams here. So that means that for the teams, they really have to do their homework. They have to understand the intricacies of like each of these different maps, the dynamics of the lineups that can be played here, and what are sort of good counters to the typical kind of strategies that are played in these maps. These are all the kind of things that all of our Brawl Stars challenge teams have to know going into their matchups. So certainly it's not an easy task, especially at this level here where, a simple mistake, you lose a single round. It can really cost you, especially in a series like this.
Yeah, I'm looking for those brawlers to be dropped into the very first map that we play in here, right? The Hard Rock Mine. Once again, with the 2 vertical grass lanes just striking through the map, it provides so much of cover for the teams to go in and pick those gems up so easily. But at the same time, it's just such an open area, and we've seen so many of these strategies employed by the 6 teams that have come in for these games so far within the day. Jupiter, Sunny Side Up, as well as Tropa Suprema playing it slightly better. Hopefully Last Wolf will be able to pull this for themselves as well. But what are the champions they're looking forward to seeing most on this map, Victor?
Again, a gem grab. Usually, like I typically want to see like what are sort of the assassin type characters that you should pick, because I find that teams that usually try to go for like a flanker, or like a what do you call it, like a lone wolf to kind of like hurt the back line. Sometimes in gem grabs, that distraction can mess up a lot of like teams lineups. So those if I do see assassin hero being picked up there, I usually want to see if they are going for very aggressive flanks, because those kind of plays, I really want to see if that kind of strat really works though in the game of gem grab, because typically gem grab maps, the focal point is always about map control, and especially the area that's around that gem spawner. That's why you tend to see a lot of like long ranged hero with like with good healing turrets. So like that's why you see like Pams or 8-bits being used in gem grabs a lot, because they can, if he sets down the turret, you can basically camp around there, and if you camp close enough to gem spawner, you can pretty much control that area of the map. And the thing about Brawl Stars, and why I feel that Brawl Stars separates itself a lot compared to some other esport games, is that the way the map control works in this game, it's so much more dynamic and so much like second to second compared to a lot of games, because it's literally, it can come down to how aggressive you are as a brawler to go up and take control of certain sectors of the map, or sometimes it's down to how well you can use your gadgets or your star powers to give you that edge to gain control over a sector of the map. And those kind of plays, those kind of like ideas are the ones that have to be utilized by our players here in maps like gem grab.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it is all about those split-second decision making that wins or loses you some of these games, right? As what we've seen in some of the plays by Tropa Suprema as well as Team Flash earlier on as well. You can just have one of your players go in and grab all of these gems and hold on to it, whilst two of these players just plays as your main bodyguard, protecting, holding the front line, making sure this particular player does not get taken down at all, right? We saw that 8-Bit being that main objective player, being able to pick up those gems as well, and with his range attacks be able to hold the opposition players back from the gems from the location. Are we going to be able to see an aggressive game taken by Byro here, or is it going to be Last Wolf that aggresses? Farhan is up front center to pick these two gems up early for himself, avoids those shots beautifully that's coming through from Vex, and Vex is going to be able to pick one gem up for himself. Seiji making that mistake, going in for a dive. It was just a little unexpected. Now Rekka MK should be able to pick these gems up for his side, but Rekka MK wrecked as well, and Byro now will be able to take the lead. Vex in for the opening, picks two more gems up as well, and the Singaporeans should be able to call the timer any moment now. How will the Indonesians respond?
Yo, this Vex is just on point with every one of his shots. Look at that, enough shot there to take down Farhan. I mean, really, Pyro is just completely having control over this gem spawner right now, and Last Wolf can't get close enough to do any damage. Americanka again trying to go for that flank. They really are focused on Vex because he's holding all the gems here for Pyro. And now the timer going down, they're going in with one last push. He's going out and down. Stagey's gonna try to pick it. Hunt gets popped off. Aaron picks up all of the gems though, so now is back in hands of Pyro. Yet again, back to square one. Last Wolf is coming back in. RB goes gonna get picked up yet again by Vex. This B is absolutely killing everyone here on Last Wolf. No one is left on the map. 3 seconds left. What can they do? Not much. The first round goes to Pyro.
What a play, and unfortunately the play does not fall through well for Last Wolf, but I feel like they've taken it so well, right? And here's the part where it got nearly messed up by Byro. The fact that they had Vex hold on to all of those stars, and he didn't back away. He had the opportunity to move on towards the right-hand side of the map and then move on to the bottom as well. Just keep himself out of the line of fire, but he wanted to play that aggressive game as well. He wanted to be able to catch the players, the aggressing players of Last Wolf, and that was such a bad call made at that point of time. But the good thing is a great recovery at the end for the Singaporeans.
Oh, really good. And I think a lot of that was just carried off the back of how accurate Vex's shots were as the B. You see, shot after shot, just nailing it, getting kill after kill. I mean, my goodness, Vex is seriously one of the most impressive B players I've seen so far.
Now, whether or not Last Wolf will be able to take games away from them will really depend on the composition that they will be dropping in with right after this, right? Brawlers are definitely going to be great picks. They seem to get snuffed out a little too fast. Maybe a Crow to drop in, not going to be possible as well. They don't go in for those crazy plays. Seiji, it will be the Bull to knock down some of that backup that they will have on their side, but Rekka MK just wrecks, but unfortunately Vex is on point to be able to snuff him out, Victor.
RB going in a bit of a tough spot there, but he's gonna pretty much be able to stay in position. ATG detects him at the time, gets a charge into him. Now the Goat's going to focus on him. Vex is the one to score the kill. Yet again, he gets another shot there. Rekka MK again getting picked up by this B. Like I said, Vex is on point with all of his shots here so far. And again, another shot might have almost cost Farhan his life there that time, but Vex is now 7 gems up. Last Wolf still not able to get in position. Seiji goes with a charge on the Farhan. That's going to be enough to get a kill onto the Bell. Now they're going to try to go for another one here on the Rekka MK. RB Wolf tries to go for the flank, but Aaron is able to keep it at bay. Now the Daryl's going to go in front. Vex is going to be able to react just in time, keeps Aaron alive and keeps the gems in play. They take out Farhan as Last Wolf tries to go for one last-ditch attempt here, but it can only find Seiji at this moment. Arbigo goes for the dive, but it is all over. Byro wins it out 2 rounds in a row.
Too easy for the Singaporeans. They continuously aggressed up front. They were playing the exact same sort of a strategy, right? One main player picking up all of those gems and, you know, having the other two place so much of pressure up front. But here's the problem. The player that's picking these gems up is such a slayer himself, right? How many of those shots does this guy actually miss? Not even one. And this all anticipation. Being able to spot out exactly where your opponent is going to run towards and hit such a long shot and still be able to connect. Absolute perfection from Vex, and Byro is on to such a perfect start to the final series here, and they've just taken one set for themselves. Will Last Wolf be able to pick one up right back after this, or is it going to be a similar story as yesterday, a 3-0 victory? The Indonesians surely won't be happy with that, Victor.
Well, I mean, given Vex's performances so far on that B, like, I think set number 2 could go Byro's way very rapidly if Last Wolf can't find a good answer to the sharpshooters. So I'm expecting that they might try to go for some heavyweights maybe. That worked out well for Crazy Lagoon. I'm not sure whether it will work against a team like Byro, but certainly wouldn't hurt to try. But then again, I'm just so impressed by Vex. Just the precision that he has, and also the level of communication that they have on Byro's side, because you can see how quickly they can react the moment that Seiji tries to go for the charge as Bull. So yeah, a lot of these elements seem to be going very well for Byro, and it's working out well for them, at least for this first set. Yeah. So the second set now, I think it's going to determine a lot here, whether or not Vex can keep up his current accuracy streak, or whether or not Last Wolf can actually find another way to take this fight against Byro.
Yeah, unfortunately for Last Wolf, I feel like Vex is going to be on fire, man. I mean, this is an even more open map, and he is going to be playing it the exact same way. Aaron will be able to move upwards to maybe pick the blue star up for himself, as well as Byro, but it's not going to be that easy as Rekka MK is on play as well. But Aaron, having a few extra HP compared to Rekka MK, will be able to, you know, position himself much better. Byro with Seiji onto the left-hand side. On the other hand, we'll have to back away. Our big wall gets such an easy takedown there.
Yeah, I got a good takedown there. Now Vex is coming in for the revenge. Does take it, but Equal is able to get a trade as well. So they're so far just trading back and forth, but Last Wolf does have the lead stars at the moment though. So Byro's going to have to try to find a good opening at this point. So Vex now getting in position. Seiji, he has to duck behind the wall. Revka MK again trying to use this tick here to get control over the mid side. Seiji lands a shot. So that's going to force Revka MK to fall back. Vex now trying to get a shot. Oh, gets one landed onto Farhan, but not enough to get him down. Arbico gets reload. He's going to get picked off there by Arbico. So that's where he gets picked off there. So now they're going to be able to stay ahead here. Last Wolf might just be able to win this out if Byro isn't able to find the kills in time. Now Aaron sends out some more shots here. Tries his best to keep control. Can they do it though? 30 seconds left.
Aaron should be able to take the fight to our big wall. Seiji aggressing as well, and at the very last moment, Aaron snaps out our big wall, and it's a 14 to 11, 18 more seconds on the clock. Is Aaron going to get snapped out? Farhan dropping up front, and Vex will take that shot. He strikes again, and Rekka MK gets wrecked. Aaron on the slide, and just like that, Byro is annihilating the Indonesian side of Last Wolf.
I tell you what, AJ, like, the best analogy I could give to that was just watching two teams trying to balance a Jenga tower and then the whole thing just falling flat in the last second. Oh my goodness. You saw how rapidly Last Wolf collapsed the moment that suddenly it seemed like a surge of aggression came out of Byro in the last closing seconds of that round.
That's very, very bad, right? That's very, very bad because it shows that Last Wolf is giving up a little bit too easy here towards the very last moments. Although, to be absolutely fair, there was no way they could have made a strong comeback towards that very last moment. I mean, I believe that was what, 3 back-to-back annihilating, kills that Vex got a double for himself, and then Aaron came in with its slay as well. And game was all over. And from then on, what does Last Wolf fight for, my friend? It just wasn't a possibility, and they just allow the situation to get overtaken, and just like that, 22-24 stars, crazy performance in here by the Singaporeans. Will Byro be able to, continuously punish Last Wolf? Let's see.
So it's changing things around a bit. The Nanis are going to be on the right-hand side, whereas the B and the Piper are going to be the left-hand side this time. But Vex taking a lot of damage this time around, though. It takes a lot more from the tick of Last Wolf as RB Will lands a good shot there. He's going to get his super out. Ooh, gets taken out in the last possible seconds there by Vex. So it's fortunate for him. They haven't conceded too many stars yet, but it's still 3 for 3 at the moment. Advantage of Last Wolf because they have the blue star at the moment, but it's only a narrow lead at this point. A good shot there. It's going to take down Farhan. So Vex.
Well, Aaron's going to be able to aggress right now. Our Big Will responding with all of those shots. Vex with the ability to drop in with the gang. Our Big Will backing away in the nick of time. And Byro is still the aggressing side. The Last Wolf team is not able to come in here for the push. And it is them that needs to aggress Victor. And if they do not come in here for a push, they might just lose this on a technicality. As Vex drops Farhan. Aaron, of course, sliced out. Last Wolf still keeping it in here. 8 to 12. They need 4 more stars, Victor.
Oh my goodness, one more kill there. The Revga MCOP might just tip the balance into Byro's favor now because there's 17 stars to Last Wolf's 8. That's more than half more compared to what Last Wolf had. So right now it's absolutely crunch time here. 15 seconds left. Last Wolf doesn't seem to have initiative here. RB Will is going to be blasted down really, really low. 8 seconds left. One last hit. Ooh, almost hits Farhan, but he's able to pipe away. No, he lands right onto the minus Seiji. That's really devastating here as Byro wins it out 24 to 12. Not even close.
Rosa is my name. Fuck me's my guess.
I'm speechless as to how Byro is able to take so many of these commanding rounds one after the other. Be it a one-on-one situation, be it a two-on-one situation, they are able to maneuver their way out of that sticky situation. So many situations, Pistachio. But at the end of the day, the players from Last Wolf had nowhere else to go. And then again, they were not in a position to run away. The advantage was with Byro, and they had to take some stars for themselves. This is, at the end of the day, bounty. And every single time they step forward to take some stars back, they lose even more.
Yeah, again, it's that like catch-22 situation, right? You don't go if you don't aggress and get kills, you're not gonna win. But if you don't get the stars, you're not going to win out the set. So, it's again, I think like for Last Wolf at least, it seems like they're just getting outclassed on these two maps now. So. Yeah, Siege map is going to be up next. Again, just like with the other matchups, it is going to be a change of pace, but I'm afraid that Byro right now has such a huge momentum lead here that Last Wolf, I really worry for them in this round.
Yeah, but I do not expect it to be as straightforward, right? Because, playing this map is a little bit different as long as you can bring in the right strategies, as some of these teams have been able to show us so far. Yes, the fight is going to be aggressive, though, for all of those bolts. If Last Wolf can last in that center for just a little bit longer, bringing in a little bit of maybe a tankier option for themselves. As usual, my go-to, it is going to be that Frank. Bull is going to be exceptional in this situation as well, to be able to remove some of these, barriers with that midsection, opening the map up, right? Allowing some of the, sharpshooters who could be brought in, maybe that 8-bit for the side of Last Wolf, to be able to do that distance damage. Exactly what they will go ahead to pull off here.
Yeah, so now coming into this next map here, again, they're really just trading each other here because they want to fight for bolts here. It's not necessary kills they're going for, though. That is certainly going to be helpful for Vex. He gets a kill to Farhan, another kill here onto Rekka MK, this time by the Franco Seiji. Now RB Goal is the only one from Last Wolf still alive at the moment. Now that Farhan is back in, though, this Lu is certainly looking to try to get his super back up and ready in time, though. Thing is going to get caught in place there. Seiji almost lands a second hit, but this time the Frank is going to get popped off by the Lu. Now, Vex trying to hold position here. Unfortunately, it's not much cover for him to work with. He's still able to land a hit at Rekka MK, though. In the meantime, Aaron picks up the kill on the Franco Seiji. So, the thing is, bolts-wise, Byro is leading by a whole country mile. I mean, 11 bolts to 4. Last Wolf certainly has not really made the most out of the captures at this point. Now they're trying to trade blows against both of these Franks here. It looks like Seiji is going to be the one that gets popped up, but no, Barbie gets popped as well, thanks to Aaron's attacks. Now, level 14 Siege Bot is on its way. What damage can this one do?
A little too much, man. Look at Aaron going up as well, clearing out the midsection, allowing the oh no, Siegebot's a little stuck towards the right-hand side. Aaron moved in a little bit too slow, but the damage onto the save is going to be brought down by the Siegebot. Aaron dropping in as well, and this is just game over as Pyro takes a commanding first game.
Again, level 14 Siege Bot still very, very strong. I was surprised he got that bad, though, because I think Last Wolf couldn't really contest much on those bolts, but I don't know. It's just stunning. But and again, very much well done, I think, for Byro, because they pretty much played that map to perfection. I mean, getting majority of the bolts, leaving literally scraps and pieces for your opponent team. That's a dominant performance I've ever seen one here.
And on top of that, after getting so many of those balls, being able to send in such a monster of a siege bot there, Aaron just trying to open the field up a little bit more for the entrance of the siege bot. Does not fall through, but even that does not really put much of a dent in their armor. They storm right through the fort, and they will be able to take game one for themselves. Are we going to be able to see a commanding victory yet again as we drop into round 2 of Siege? Very high probability here, Victor.
Well, I don't know. Again, I don't want to speculate too much before we go in, but what's really clear is that, Last Wolf, just like yesterday, still haven't really shown what their full true potential is. So I'm just thinking that, now coming into this next siege round here, I think Last Wolf really has to show that they at least are capable of bringing some good fights here. But otherwise, it's going to be a really tough one here for Last Wolf from here on out.
Absolutely, man. I mean, Sandy and Max could be great supports, but using both of these brawlers at the same time, it creates those hard counters for the teams that bring in Frank, as well as the sharpshooter drop as well, right? So let's see if or not the side of Last Wolf will be able to overcome the drop of Pyro. And I love what our Big Lol is bringing into this matchup here. He is going to be able to turn things around.
Well, the Mortis unfortunately got picked off by the Colette that time, though, so a Siege Bot is going to be sent out from the Last Wolf side, but it's only a level 1, so that's pretty much going to be dead in the water pretty much even before he gets to that base. So that's the thing. It's going to be up to the next Siege, though, and Byro's already having a 2-bolt lead, so Last Wolf's going to have to make the most out of the control they have over the zone at the moment. Rekka MK picks up 1 bolt, sends it back to base just in time, because he's going to get picked off there by the Cult of Aaron. So that's Last Wolf now. Arbiguel tries to go for the jump on the Vex, but gets picked off there. Not sure what exactly he's trying to do with that Mortis. Warhan's gonna get picked up as well. Last Wolf losing so much ground here. So Byro still has the lead in bolts at this point. 5 seconds left to go. Looks like at this point they will get a level 7 Siege Bot out, and indeed they do. Arbiguel tries to go for one last ditch attempt, gets picked off again. This could be devastating here as now Vex tries to go for the jump, didn't quite get the kill that time, but does get Marhan down to 1,000. Now the ball is going to get broken down, so the Siege Bot has little resistance here to get up into the base. It's going to keep punching onto it. It's going to bring it down to about 40 percentage points before the Siege Bot gets taken out, so that's a lot of damage done now to Last Wolf.
our Big Will, I do not understand this play by this Mortis, man. I mean, he should have been able to make a bigger difference in this game. Wrecker Emka is just now hiding away from all of these shots that Seiji as well as Vex dropping in on him, but Vex is not gonna allow him to walk away from that easy. Seiji slaying Farhan as well. The players of Last Wolf getting taken down one after the other, and now here they bring a level 12 siege bot on top of everything else. This is just game freaking over, Victor.
Oh my goodness, I'm just entertained endlessly at watching Aaron constantly counteract this Mortis here from Last Wolf. But yeah, I mean, all in all, that was Byro through and through. They are just so dominant throughout this entire series, and it certainly shows. 3-0 in favor of the Singaporean team. So the Last Wolf, unfortunately, is going to have a lot to think about going forwards.
Yeah, and a lot to think about, unfortunately, will be something that they will have to do. And thankfully, it will not be a situation where they have to come up with answers tomorrow, because we will be taking a break. The, all of the action from Brawl Stars will be continuing on the 22nd of June, and that is the coming Tuesday. So, I mean, Last Wolf will be taking that well-deserved rest. It's been 2 back-to-back crazy days for them where they've not been able to pick many points up for themselves. Byro, on the other hand, the exact opposite situation. They've taken, a beautiful victory yesterday, and they come in today doing the exact same thing. Waffle's monster have now fallen to Byro as well as Last Wolf. Who else will be served up to the mighty Singaporeans? But of course, it's not going to be that easy, because in the single round robin, the easier, I guess, matches might be served up early for Byro. They will have those big ones coming up soon.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Even if you have like the easier matchups early on, as the playoffs continue. So, and this is the challenge again. This is why all these teams are here, because they want to challenge themselves against the very best, and you can only do so when you take part in competitions like this, and you have to expect that one of these days you're going to be matched up against a team that is stronger, faster, and much more knowledgeable than you. So it's going to be up to you then to meet that challenge. So yeah, I think at least for teams like Byro, they can rest a lot more confident during this break, because they know that they are ahead in points. So their focus can now be more about the tactical aspects of meeting up with some of these teams, especially in the future matchups.
Absolutely. Let's bring on the post-analysis for that match and once again see exactly how did the Singaporean side manage this absolute upset over Last Wolf. This is the one and only Byro with 3-0 victory once again. The start of the day, I quite honestly thought Vex was playing this badly and expected Last Wolf to be able to pull a clutch here, man. And Vex was just holding a side that was just so weak. Wrecker Emka dropping with that final slay, but it just wasn't enough to close the game out.
But the thing is that, Byro, the way they were able to claw back some of these rounds was just down to team play and just aggressive skill, especially on Vex. Just landing shots, and the thing is, his teammate Seiji just constantly aggressing and also communicating with Vex. You can see Vex reacts very quickly whenever Seiji goes for a charge, and whenever there's an opportunity for a last hit, Vex would try to go for it. And you can see RB Gold, despite him trying to do the same on the other end, it just worked out so much better for Byro, simply because it had so much better team play.
It's just unfortunate for them that Vex is just such a gifted player, right? And it's not about the fact that he is able to hit all of those shots. He's able to hit all of those shots whilst moving back and forth, avoiding those shots thrown at him. And that is true perfection, and that's exactly what makes him such a dangerous player. You're just unable to eliminate Vex. And look at him once again, right? He almost got taken down. He goes back for that push once again. Our Big Will, the Frank, should have taken him down, and he still manages to assist Aaron for that push on. And this guy is such a huge playmaker for the side of Byro, Victor.
it just goes to show how well he understands how to play the B. You know, it shows that he understands the limits, he knows how much range it has, and all that combined, as well as just probably the hours upon hours that he spent practicing on this brawler, certainly has paid dividends here today, because he's certainly shown himself to be one of the stronger players of a B brawler that I've ever seen so far.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know, that was just perfection coming in here from Byro. But once again, these are no offense to the side of, Last Wolf. No offense to the side of Waffle's Monster. These are the slightly easier matches that they have taken so far in terms of being able to perform as well against teams like, of course, Jupiter as well as Tropa Suprema. We will have to see if or not that will be possible. But so far, so good. They've been able to pick the 2 series victory and, propel themselves up towards the top of the ladder here, because we have got 6 points in the bag now, Victor, for them.
Yeah, 6 points in the bag, and that's certainly going to try and kind of toss up the standings, I expect. But I'm really curious to see how that will look like once all things are tabulated and everything's said and done. But certainly, I do expect that the Japanese teams are still going to be the biggest target right now for a lot of teams here, both the Indonesian and the Singaporean ones, because frankly, it seems like the Japanese region is very, very strong right now in Brawl Stars, as like Tropa Suprema, Crazy Lagoon, and that as the Japanese teams have shown so far. So yeah, I think like this break, I think will do a lot of good for the other teams, because this is going to allow them some time to get acquainted with the new updates, because remember, season 7 is coming up soon, and that's a lot of changes coming in that patch, and that's going to change up a lot of the meta for sure. So the team's going to have to study very hard for that, because that's going to be coming up.
So many of those hours of scrims will be lying in wait for them as soon as that new patch goes into hit, right? And once it's activated and gets brought into the competition, like you said, Victor, so many things are about to change in here. Whether or not they'll be able to bring in all of their revised, gameplays and grab victories, or is that just going to throw everything into disarray? Are we going to be able to see a shuffle of the leaderboard as we open up, next week on Tuesday? Well, we will have to wait and see. As of now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the teams, quite honestly, on the left-hand side, right? Because earlier today, we showed, the upcoming matches. Yesterday, it was the exact same. All of the teams on the left-hand side has won. Today, it's the exact same thing. All the teams on the left-hand side have won again, with Byro wrapping up that final series onto Last Wolf. Is it going to be something of the same for all of the other lineups? Gee, I don't know, man.
I don't know. I just feel like that's an interesting theory that maybe you should try to ask graphics to maybe switch things around a bit, see whether this interesting theory of yours still holds up after that. But nevertheless, a very funny coincidence. But I guess it just goes to show that like there is very clearly a vast difference, I think, in some of these regions. So I think the thing the team's gonna have to reconcile is that they have a lot of ground they have to make up, especially against the Japanese teams. So hopefully this 1 week break is going to help them in doing that, because especially with the new patch coming in, every time there's a new update to a game, especially an update that's this big, that certainly will change up the meta a lot. So this is where the teams that are the most adaptable, the teams that are able to implement and like start to develop new strategies based on this current this current season, the upcoming season, I should say. So yeah, that's where those teams are going to come up much stronger than the others. So the teams that are on top right now are only on top because they've understood the intricacies of this season 6 right now. But once season 7 comes around, a lot more new things are going to be coming in, a lot more new strategies and opportunities will present itself. So this is where the teams really will have to show that they are capable of keeping up with all of these changes.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's bring in Aaron from Biro, who will be joining us for yet another interview session. Well, congratulations, Aaron, on yet another tremendous victory today, buddy.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, must be pretty happy to see us here again, right? But
Yeah,
I mean,
uh,
it's I mean, it's again
Yeah,
testament to how good you guys are, right? To be able to come back again and just absolutely kill it in this set here. I mean, now that we've already been through day 2, like, how are the boys feeling over there at Biro? Are they still feeling super confident, or are there still some things that they're going to be looking into when you come back next week?
I think most of us are feeling we're pretty happy because today is a bit different compared to yesterday because the meta completely shifted after the drop of the update. So we're pretty happy that we managed to adapt pretty quickly within a couple of hours, and yeah, we're really happy about today's win.
Aaron, I'm absolutely curious, man. I mean, you've seen the Japanese side already. Tropa Suprema is, rising up to be one of the most dangerous in the competition. Which one of these Japanese team are you looking forward to meeting the most, and why?
I would definitely feel very accomplished if we can beat a team like Jupiter, because they have proven to be extremely consistent in terms of teamwork and skill. For a very long time, more than a year together. Some of them have been playing together. So, I mean, Tropa Suprema definitely put on a very strong show today. So, I mean, to be able to win a team like Tropa Suprema as well is a big deal. So, both of these two dominant Jap teams, if we're able to beat them, there'll be an almost equal sense of satisfaction in if we manage to overcome all the obstacles.
Fair enough. Well answered.
Yeah, and I guess one last question from me, and this is actually going to be about your teammate here, because I just want to know what do I have to do to be as good as Vex is on the B? 'Cause seriously, he's so impressive, landing shots after shots. Like, what's his training like? I mean, how is he that good?
I mean, he's very well all-rounded. He's especially good with ranged brawlers. So he's really comfortable playing brawlers like B, Colette, any range. And with B in particular, you just need a bit of patience and timing and precision with your shots. Because if you can't hit your shots as B, then there's no point playing that brawler. So that's Vex's strength in hitting his shots. And once you get your super, it just steamroll because they're slowed down. You can it's basically free shots on the enemy. So yeah, the most important thing about B is and any range brawler for that matter is to be able to hit your shots.
Exactly, and Vex very impressive in that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Aaron, one last one from me before we let you go, buddy. Is the question of the fate of your team. You've already revealed to us a very spicy information that you guys nearly walked separate ways. Now, the most curious question from the community will be if Biro manages to pull a victory off in this competition, going into the playoffs and maybe getting the top 3 positions. Will you guys stick together, or are we still gonna see the Biro team have a little bit of a shuffle in the squad?
I mean, it's a pretty controversial topic at this point. I would really I would really like the team to stick together, especially if we do well, and if we can prove ourselves to beat some of the bigger teams like Flash, Tropa Suprema, Jupiter. If we can beat, even if we beat like 2 out of these 3 teams, it's a really big deal, and it shows a lot. As far as possible, I mean, if things don't really work out, then maybe everyone has their own reasons. But if we can prove to beat these big boys, I mean, for sure, I would assume that they also would be inclined to continue together, and we'll just have to wait and see. For first of all, we need to qualify for the top 4, and from there we'll see the results on those. So yeah, we're taking things slow at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough, man. I mean, it's good that you guys are taking it slow, but as far as, Victor and I are concerned, we absolutely love the way you guys take some of these matchups. The teamwork is just so solid, with Vex just hitting each and every single one of those shots, Victor, just blowing our minds each and every single time. The mechanical gameplay by Vex is crazy, not just because he's able to hit some of these shots. Once again, like I've mentioned, the fact that he's able to avoid all of those incoming shots whilst, maintaining his aim is just absolutely superb. So please do pass on our regards to him as well.
I'm sure he'll be watching this as well.
All right, so I guess that's going to be it. So thank you so much, Aaron, for joining us here, and all the best for you and the boys here at Byro. And we wish you guys all good things here from here on out.
Thank you. I hope to interview you every single qualifier.
The next time around, once you win, you interview us, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Take care, buddy. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
All right, cheers, man. Well, there you go, Victor. 2 times back-to-back, Byro has been able to come in here and prove that they are worthy to stand at the top. But once again, the bigger challenges haven't really, come forth and, really test these players just yet. And I'm really interested to see exactly how they will respond when the time comes.
Yeah, I'm still holding out for hope that one of these days we're going to see that mythical set number 5. It's almost a unicorn at this point, and I'm just hoping that within this next week that we will actually see that set 5 happen, because I really want to see those kind of close matches, those kind of matchups where the teams have to spend every last tactic out of the book in order to find that advantage, and those are the kind of matches that really are what I live to watch for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on the point of amazing matches, let's take a quick look at the standings and see exactly who has done an excellent job for themselves today with all of those matches. We'll start at the very bottom. I'm expecting to see Last Wolf there. Are they going to be able to move up? Nope, they do not swap places with Waffle's Monster. They will be sharing that 6, 7, and 8 position together. Crazy Lagoon down at the bottom as well. 5th spot taken by Sunny Side Up. At the moment, it's quite gloomy in their world. And of course, 4th position by Team Flash. The strong Singaporeans, unfortunately, will have to do with the 4th spot today with the 3 points that they've managed to grab for themselves, Victor.
Yeah, so that is pretty much going to be the journey for these teams here. But for the top 3 right now of Jupiter, Tropa Supremo, and Byro, certainly they'll be going into the next week with a lot of confidence in hand. But for the bottom 3 teams, though, Crazy Lagoon, Waffle's Monster, and Last Wolf, they will certainly look forward to the next week to hopefully change their fortunes around. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the standings as it is right now after 2 days of play here at the Brawl Stars Mobile Challenge. Hopefully we'll be able to see you guys next week, because as you will see in the schedules here, we are still having a lot of action here at ESL for you guys up ahead. So next Tuesday, we're going to be having 4 more matchups here for Brawl Stars, starting off with Crazy Lagoon versus Byro, then followed by Waffle's Monster versus Sunny Side Up, and then closing off with Last Wolf versus Tropa Suprema, and then Jupiter versus Team Flash. So these are going to be the playoffs for next Tuesday. So hopefully you guys will be able to join us for this as we continue the story for these 8 challenger teams here in Brawl Stars.
Yeah, the drama is definitely going to be building up next week. This week was just merely a teaser for what you can be expecting. Last Wolf can use this opportunity for themselves, Victor, with the new update that has been dropped in, to see if or not they'll be able to grind their way to the top. Hopefully, it does affect the performance of the more, better skilled squads in here. But unfortunately for them, it just doesn't seem to be the way so far. Whoever who has been dominant has been able to show that they will continuously dominate. The rest, only one dominant team falling short slightly, I would say today, Team Flash. And they are going to be tested even further when we come back next week, because going up against Jupiter is no small task, my friend.
Indeed, and there's a very famous saying here in the esports industry is that as hard as it is to get to the top, it's even harder to stay there. So hopefully, the new updates with the 1 week refresh here, we might see a change up in the order. But for now, these are your top 8 here in the ESL Mobile Challenge for Asia Pacific.
Yep, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on that note, my name's AJ. I'm the Mustachio down here with the one and only Victor Cax. We'll catch you guys next week.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the wait's up. That's how we know when we level up. Hey, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up. Level up.